Hello. How,
Hello, Daniel Ira.
how are you, Kakiro?
Very good, thank you.
What are we gonna do today?
I don't know. Maybe the title is gives us some clue.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe,
Or maybe it's
or maybe.
misleading.
How is it misleading? What are you doing? Clickbait.
Well, drawing a
Clickbait Tiela.
drawing and it's a painting.
Drawing a drawing that it's a painting.
Yeah.
Nice. How are you, Daniel Ira?
I'm good.
I haven't gotten a notification. That's weird.
No?
No, no,
Let's
no.
see if I have.
Usually
No, I haven't.
springs up after a couple of
I
seconds.
haven't either, but
Are we
we
live?
are alive. Yeah, we are
Oh,
live.
we're alive.
We're alive and
I mean,
live.
I don't know that.
No, we are alive.
I have more certainty that we are live than
Than
we
alive.
are alive.
So let me just go super quickly here.
It is weird, those notifications, I have to be honest. They're not perfect.
We're live.
They're not perfect.
Join us.
Please.
Please? No.
No, that sounds a little biggy.
Join us for drawing a drawing. Let's see. Copy. Over here.
Are we good?
Nope.
No?
And oh, I mean we are live, yeah.
No. I mean, we're good to start.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So, while you're doing that, while you're
No,
sending
I'm ready.
a
I'm ready.
notification for the
Ready, Freddy.
community. Took a photo of you,
Mm-hmm.
I think yesterday, day before.
Yesterday. It was yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought I would paint it. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's just you on the bed with your phone, and
What was I doing in my phone?
I think you're playing game that we've invested quite a bit
Yeah.
of time into it.
And money.
It's a pretty trash game, but
and money.
we have. Oh yeah, on your side. Well, I mean, it's a good game. Let's be shameless here.
No, I think it's a great
Shameless,
game. I mean, I
but
even bought something
supportive.
today
Oh my, what? Oh my God.
for $4.99. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I thought
that's
I'm
where
gonna
the
be
OPL
honest.
money's going.
I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
a great upgrade.
I saw that the fridge was empty, but the
The game's
you have a
thriving.
new card.
No, I thought that it was gonna be a great help because I bought the pass
Oh Jesus.
from the
Oh, Christ.
alternate monies,
Oh,
the one
jeez.
like the lucky monies,
No. Mm.
and I thought
Yeah, that's how they got you. You thought.
I thought
that,
that I could get a great upgrade,
No.
and I bought it, and I just got one level,
Trash.
like one more.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Let's
So-
not talk about that.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, we've enjoyed the game, the little trashy game so far. So I'm always of the mind that if you play a game, and if you find yourself you're playing it enough, and it's a free game, it's okay to eventually say, you know what, I'm gonna put some money into it because I have been enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that even if I hadn't put money into it, like I would have enjoyed it for a long time. So
Yes.
good.
No, and to
I'm
be
happy.
honest, it's the only game that I put
Oh, you don't play
money
anything
in.
else. Yeah,
exactly.
It's
So-
true. That's true.
And it's not like I'm buying, I don't know, $400.
You're a
things.
whale.
It's like
You're
$4.
considered a whale for this game.
$4.
Yeah,
$9.99.
an hour.
The most.
$4 a minute.
Day. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. So, no, you were in bed, and I was like, I love the angle of the head. I loved that there was a cushion here, and it actually breaks your hair.
My ponytail, yeah.
Yeah, so we actually see the break,
Mm-hmm.
which compositionally I think was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to see the rest of the ponytail here in a really cool shape. Yeah, I
Mhm.
just got the notification. That's weird.
I
I did
haven't got
a
it.
bad job of drawing this. That's why we're not gonna follow this. Um, I feel I need to do a little bit better with the rest of the drawing. I feel I'm okay. I like this arm kind of wrapping around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because there seems to be like a little bit of a warping effect,
Yeah.
I feel. Um, because of the camera, because of the phone
Lens.
camera lens.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I actually like it. I
Mm.
actually really like it. You know that there's I forget if this is true. I don't remember who I heard it from. It was in school. It was in some class. I think. Oh, let me turn this down. I think it was it Steve? Maybe I forget. Maybe David Soman. Maybe I have to check. Um, there is one particular Andrew Wyeth. I think this one is a um, dry brush painting. So a dry brush watercolor painting. It's a gorgeous one. It's man lying on bed, and it's a bunch of quilts. You know, there's a bunch of blankets and quilts. So there's a lot of pattern here. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous painting. Um, and what I understood that day is that when Wyeth would work from, because he would work from life, um, when he was drawing this area, so he would be standing here, you know, drawing or painting. And then when he was doing this, he would be here,
Mm-hmm.
drawing,
So
painting.
it's this one.
Yes. It's an absolutely gorgeous painting.
Yeah. So let me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Oh,
It'll
thank
take
you.
me a bit, but
And when he was drawing here, so I didn't do that bad. That's a good
no,
simple
you did. Yeah, yeah,
representation in the
yeah.
paintings.
That was great, actually.
So when he was doing this, it was this perspective. When he was doing this bit, it was this perspective, and when he was doing this, it was this perspective. So what you kind of naturally get is a figure doing this and then kind of wrapping around, like going around and then going around like that almost, which is very, very cool. I guess this one could go like back to front. Um, it's really, really cool. So
Yeah. So there it is
thank
in the
you.
screen. Yeah. No,
Such a
no. Don't
beautiful.
worry.
It's got to be. I mean, it's one of my favorites. That and the Barracoon painting.
Barracoon.
Yeah, I love that painting also.
Kiss Barracoon.
You know that I don't know what it is. I never looked it up. That's kind of shameful on my part.
This one.
Well, that's Helga. No, that one.
That
The
one.
other one.
That one.
No, go to
That one. That one. This one.
yeah, that.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's
What's?
good.
But I want to know what's Barracoon.
Yeah, could you check and see?
Yeah, for sure. Because I googled Andrew Wyeth Barracoon,
Yeah.
and I got all of this.
Yeah. Oh,
I think.
God, that's got to be one of the most beautiful reclining nudes ever, I feel. I like the black woman better. I think the other one is Helga, maybe. I mean, the other one's brilliant. The top part?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
beautiful.
Jesus, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's so beautiful. But I think I like that one so much more.
Yeah. Let me see.
Barracoon. Yeah. Yeah, please check that because I always felt I know the title and it's unlike me because whenever I don't know something, I try to look it up. But I've always had that title in my mind.
Well, but it's
Tough word?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is an enclosure in which black slaves were confined for a
Mm.
limited period.
Oh, oof.
So it is, yeah.
Yeah. So it's speaking about, I'm guessing, the houses that they worked for, and the rooms they would have them sleep in, but it's very strange that then the Helga one is kind of like the partner painting. I mean, that would be very contemporary, I would feel. That would be a very contemporary take. Is the one of the white woman lying down, is that also called Barracoon?
Because it says from Barracoon. Let me double check.
Yeah, because that would be strange, but you know, maybe it speaks about the same space. Let's try to be somewhat open about this. Maybe it speaks about the same space being inhabited
Well, it
by.
says Andrew Wyeth's Barracoon,
Okay.
1976, in which he darkened the skin of his subject, Helga.
What? That was the first version?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Oh, that is what? No, but that's
Well, this is according to the New York Times.
New York
New York
Times.
Times, I'm sorry. And that's the description.
Wait, though, no, but did he? No, that's got to be like a black model, though. Don't you think? I don't think he took the
Mm.
other painting and just darkened the skin. That would, I mean, that sounds really weird.
It says the curators pointed her to Barracoon, showing a nude, reclining black woman seen from behind, a version of a classic odalisque.
Yeah.
The work's title refers to an enclosure for slaves. They said, you know, it's actually Helga,
What?
recalled Miss Shaw, who was stopped in her tracks by the revelation.
What?
I said, what? She learned that to hide the identity of his model, whose real name is Helga Testorf, Wyeth changed the subject's race, darkening the skin and saying that it was a picture of Betty Hammond, a black maid who had worked with the Wyeth family for 37 years.
Oh,
He
so
did the
he
same
said, oh, no, 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 no,
On
no.
at least one of the other Helga pictures, heat lightning.
Wait,
Light,
wait.
lightning, yeah.
But I don't know if I understand this correctly. So, is he like, was he just saying that to protect? He wasn't protecting Helga because he's got a whole series of the Helga. Like he's got tons of nudes of Helga. So I don't
No,
think
because it says
he's
he had
protecting
painted.
the
No,
woman
no.
that
He was
actually
protecting
posed.
Helga.
What?
He was saying that it was Betty, but it was actually Helga.
Why would
Because
she?
it says,
What?
wait. So let me read.
Okay.
It says, I'm gonna reread this because it says, it was to hide the identity of his model, whose real name is Helga. And then it says, he had painted Miss Testorf, so Helga, a married mother of 4, for some 15 years,
Yeah.
for much of that time unbeknown to his wife.
Yeah.
It was brought to light in the 1987 blockbuster exhibition Andrew Wyeth, The Helga Pictures. And it says, it was taken aback, Miss Shaw said, to think about in that moment, both seeing an image of a black woman and not seeing an actual black woman. I was really confused.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. You know that I don't think so.
Well, but it's according to the New York Times. I don't know.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
To be
I'm just
honest,
no.
but-
What? No, I'm not saying it's
Oh no,
like
no. I'm not saying.
100% true. I'm just saying I'm reading it.
So according to the New York Times,
Exactly.
and it's not really according to the New York Times.
It's according to
It's
the
according
curator.
to somebody that says no, it's somebody else.
The curator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it, Miss Shaw?
Miss Shaw.
Who? I wonder if that's like a family.
It's an
friend?
art historian
Okay.
named Gwendoline Dubois Shaw.
Okay. Oh, is anyone here super familiar
That
with
says.
Wyeth? I gotta read more about this story. This would be fascinating.
He went. So it says the art historian Gwendoline
Mm-hmm.
took a 45-minute drive to Philadelphia to the Brandywine
Museum.
River
Yeah.
Museum of Art.
Yeah.
Here 2 years ago on a sensitive mission to study Andrew Wyeth's pictures of black subjects.
Hmm.
So I guess that he's a historian that, like,
She maybe she.
or she.
Yeah.
They are a historian that focused on that.
Well, they said Miss Wendling, so I'm guessing she. Or Miss.
Miss Shaw. Yeah.
So she. I'm having a hard time believing this. A really hard time. Because why do it with this one and not with every other painting that he did of Helga? Like, why this one? That would be ridiculous. Like, why? I know that there's always been like this. They think that Helga was, or they supposed that she was his mistress, muse slash mistress. It's very I don't know, the eternal story about model and painter. But why this painting? Like, why would you change this particular painting? Why would you feel, oh, I gotta hide their identity, like Helga's identity? And then I don't know if people realize how absurdly tough it would be to just say, I'm gonna change somebody's skin tone. There's so much about that painting. I think it's a beautiful nude of a black woman. I mean, there's so much, like, I don't know, like the color of it seems so like palpable that I can't even begin to understand that somebody wouldn't be looking at that person posing for them to do that. Even like the change in the feet, I remember, like the change in color in the feet. It's so masterfully done. But I think I would always say, I always thought, no, this is observation. This is amazing observation. Like, there's no way. I think that's just I don't know. I don't think that's right. What I would have understood if it was the other way around. If this was somebody who worked for them, because is that who the real person was?
No, it was Helga, according to
No.
this.
But is that who the
No,
person
so it
that
was Helga,
right?
and
well,
they
I'm not gonna.
they said
Okay, so we don't know if it was. This is like,
I'm
for
saying
me, this
they
is hearsay.
say
Yeah.
it was Helga,
Okay.
and
But Wyeth said that it was supposed to be.
let me look for it.
It was in the last part where
No,
of what you were reading.
No, because it wasn't in the last part of the article. So
No, the first paragraph that you read, it was in the last part of that paragraph.
but
I thought it was like, I understood it as somebody who worked for them, like in the house or something like that. I mean, if I understood it wrong, I apologize.
wait, I don't see it.
It was. Do you remember the first part you read?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know where it is.
I'm not rushing.
Betty Hammond.
Okay, and she was
a black maid who had worked with the Wyeth family for
perfect.
37 years.
So my guess. So if you would have told me, I'm not saying you, Danny. This is the thing. Like, don't take this personally. Like, I'm reacting to what you're reading, but this is not, about what you're saying. But if you would have read, Danny, that it was strange for him to be painting, somebody who had worked in his house as a maid, and he had to cover that up out of shame, which is absurd. Like, all of this is absurd. And out of shame, he would have said, "Oh no, I painted. It was Helga, but I just, painted her black, just to cover that up." That to me makes more sense. I mean, again, in a senseless way, than just saying, I want to hide my quote unquote affair, and I'm going to make it as if this model was black when she was actually.
So, no, I just found another article.
Yeah.
In the Artist Network.
And
it says it's part of the article called The Racial Disguise.
Okay.
It says many of the subjects in Wyeth's paintings are of his neighbors, but some are not who they appear to be at all. Wyeth Soth, S-O-U-G-H-T.
Sought. Like, he looked for.
Wyeth sought to disguise the race of his sitter in at least 2 nudes by changing her race, writes Salisbury. He continues, Barracoon, 1976, and Heat Lightning, 1977, both began as a depiction of Wyeth's white neighbor Helga Testorf, subject of a series of sometimes quasi-erotic paintings that Wyeth supposedly kept hidden from his wife, Betsy.
So they're saying they're just saying the same thing as the other article.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, after that they do a quote of the
Of the same person?
of Gwendolyn
Okay.
Dubois Shaw.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Um, I don't know. I don't trust that. Why that painting? Like, why?
Because then,
He's got other way
you
more
know what I
like
think?
sexually referential paintings.
Yeah, but
There's
what I'm
one of like
seeing,
Helga of
mm,
like pubic hair
yes,
that it's like,
can I
okay.
say something?
Yeah, sure.
What I'm seeing is that he got caught by his wife and then he changed the race. So maybe we should see if all the paintings you're describing from Helga were before 1976, which was the year of the Barracoon painting.
I don't know. This to me. I mean, it in many ways it ruins the painting, but I don't know why I just don't trust it. I don't know. Let me look at I'm sorry cuz I'm not even drawing. I hope people are not finding this boring. But why are there two versions of this painting then? Why is there one with Helga and one that's not with Helga? Like what was the point then? Like the
I
Barracoon
think that's how
with
they
Helga.
know that it was.
No,
Uh,
no, no, it's a different painting.
no, but I mean, hear me out. I think that's how they know it was Helga because he has two versions.
No, this is no way, Danny. Like there's no way. No way. None. No way.
I
I
don't know.
refuse to
I
believe
think,
it.
yeah,
Like,
but I think you are just, I mean, we have to say it is your opinion.
well, I think, but I'm going to take it the other person as their opinion also. I don't think that's fact. There's no way that's fact. I think if people have never painted before, they think, oh, sure, sure. That's, forget it. Those skin tones, you have to be looking. You have to be really looking to paint that. Like, really, really looking. I can understand. I mean, maybe both things, maybe both parts of the story, where he's painting Helga and he does this watercolor because Helga's version is a watercolor, and this is a far more developed. Like I think it's a dry brush painting, or is it like a tempera? The Barracoon one, I think it's a dry brush. It looks like a dry brush, and maybe it's like, hey, what are you doing? You're painting this model a lot. And then he goes like, "Oh no, no, no! She was just posing, and this is just a study. But I'm gonna paint Miss um, Patty Penny. I'm sorry, Betty, Miss Betty.
Betty.
Yeah. So I'm gonna paint Miss Betty instead. But I was making a study, and maybe he's like hiding that. But then he eventually paints Miss Betty, and that's the painting that we know. I mean,
Again,
maybe
you're
I'm
just,
mixing like drama
but you're
and
just supposing.
well, I think that they are supposing too. I think what they are suggesting is one of the most absurd things in the world. Like take all the story out of it, just from a technical standpoint, it's just so difficult to do something like that. It's so unrealistic to do something like that. Even like her hips are different, her back is slightly different. Like there are subtle changes that I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to believe this. I mean, if this is true, I'm like blown away by the absurdity of it all, but I don't know. I never thought of this. This is like my favorite reclining painting ever. I feel kind of weird now. I mean, not bad weird, but just I don't know. I just wasn't expecting that. Anyways, I'm going to paint because this is like ah, feel strangely betrayed, but not really. but weirded out, but not really.
Mm, let's see. Aviola Adekambi was sending laughing emojis. Nicolas' mind is blown. He's in disbelief. LMAO.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, not because of, I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of ridiculous, like, racially driven, decisions in the whole of the art world, of course. But this one just seems so petty. It just seems so, like, backwards and petty and weird. I mean, maybe it's so strange that it's probably true. Maybe it's just so, like, what does a man do to cover up an affair, that you would go that far. You would go that, you would rely upon, like, the greatest talent that you have, which is one of the greatest talents ever. I mean, Wyeth is one of the greatest painters ever. Just to do that, I mean, maybe it's so, I don't know. I honestly thought it was it's this beautiful portrayal of, the most beautiful reclining pose that I've seen. And the skin, and particularly the skin in that pose, is so touching to me. It's painted so lovingly. I thought that I was like, I love this. This is my favorite. I mean, everything else, all the other, like, odalisks, are just so, Eurocentric. They're just so, I don't know, classical. There's something so drab about them that I never cared. Never ever cared. In fact, the Venus looking in the mirror, like Velázquez, who's, like, probably the best painter ever in history. Not my favorite painter, but I don't have any qualms about saying that he's the best painter ever. Um, Even that painting, I don't care. I could care less about that painting, to be honest. This painting, I thought it was so, I don't know. I don't know. It moved me. Always moved me. Ever since I saw the painting, I was like, this is it. This is my top, reclining nude painting ever. There's nothing that comes even close. Yeah, no, this is strange. I don't know how to feel about this. Morning session ruined for me. So I'm going to paint with a Zorn palette, by the way.
Mm.
Ah,
So I'm gonna read this last part of the artist network.
yeah.
It says Gwendolyn Dubois Shaw,
Mm.
associate professor of American art at the University of Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
writes in her catalog essay Andrew Wyatt's Black Paintings that Wyatt portrayals of Helga as a black woman reflect the power and control he believed he had because of his birthright. And this is a quote that she says. It says, if black bodies could no longer be controlled in the same way as they once had been,
Mm.
their blackness could still be placed like a costume atop of the form of Helga Testorf or wherever the artist wanted and needed it to be, states Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, again, if this is true, and I got to dig in deeper. This
It's
is like,
terrible.
yeah, this is not, for me, I hope that, for me, this is not like just a story. I mean, it's, it touches upon something that really, really moved me. Like one of those paintings that I've always had in my brain, like it's just ingrained in my brain. And I thought it was this, you know, this gorgeous, yet, yes, it's male gaze. Yes, it's white male gaze. But I thought it was like this gorgeous, like portrayal, this beautiful, like introspection into, this like dark skin, like black skin. I thought it's probably one of the most beautiful portrayals of skin. Like it's done so lovingly that it just ruins everything for me. It just everything.
Hmm.
If all this was just a cover up for an affair, and you're literally like coloring. I mean, Helga, she couldn't be whiter, by the way.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I
terrible.
mean, it makes no sense. Honestly, it makes so little sense for me that I'm refusing it to be true. And this, by the way, is not like I'm not defending Wyeth. I'm just like, as a painter, it's just so strange. That account is so strange that
Mm.
I'm just like, okay, I got to read more. There has to be,
And also to see if there's other sources of information,
cause she's
because
saying
this is
it.
based
This is
on
a
one.
professor,
Yeah, it's based on one like
right?
investigation they did, but
Right. So because I'm sure that Jamie could have said, "Oh, I remember my dad painting that painting, and I remember it was Miss Betty." Like I'm sure Jamie Wyeth should be able to say something. Like I don't know. I don't know.
so let's see.
If
Um,
somebody has info on this, oh, I would love to hear what you guys know.
so Mary S was saying, I don't want to believe it. I'm comparing them both, and there are indeed subtle differences in areas of each of the figures, but the similarities are sort of alarming. But one of my favorite nudes also. Gosh, I don't know. Carla Anglada was saying, I read he had given this painting to his wife, and that's why he changed her skin color. Mm,
Don't you think it could just be like that was the pose and he just he then asked like Miss Betty to pose, and it's the same pose that he was doing for um for Helga, but you change the pose, you change your model, and then you do this painting, which again, I don't know about the motivations behind the painting. It's a I don't know. It's such a you don't like I wouldn't even begin to say like what a man wouldn't do to just cover up something, or what a person wouldn't do to cover up
yeah,
something.
but
I
if
mean,
it's true, I think it's
human
not.
beings are insane.
No, but it's not just about covering something.
Well,
Because I think it's way.
it's the most irrational way.
No, and it's terrible. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's
Absolutely
like
irrational.
abusing of what you think it's your power.
Irrational.
Absolutely
Completely
terrible.
irrational. Yeah,
So,
it's so I don't know. Oh, I wish I could give the painter the benefit of the doubt here. But again, there's got to be like this person can't just be the sole
yeah, it can't
source.
be like, oh, this is
No.
it. Because
No,
I think it is. And
there's got to be something else here. I mean, I would dig in deeper.
Mario
You know,
J was saying, I don't think it's boring. I'm actually going through my Wyeth book, the Helga pictures, trying to find dates. No luck. I
it's
agree with.
same
Wait.
date.
No, no, no.
Oh, for all the other paintings?
Yes, what I was saying that maybe if because if they're saying that he got caught and he wanted to like change, like to try and disguise Helga
Yeah.
as someone else, maybe it was like all the like this was a painting after all the paintings he did of Helga.
Okay. I love how we're playing like detective, cheaters, caught.
Mario was saying, I agree with Nicolas, though. A lot of art history is speculation. I roll. There's a lot of silly things said and done in the art world. Don't let it get you done, Nicolas. Brush it off.
Oh, I know, but I gotta.
But I think it's not something like as easy to brush it off. I think it's something we should look into because it's like a very harsh accusation.
Yeah, and you can actually you can see the conclusion that that this particular professor slash curator, was she curating a show? No, she
I don't
just
know.
went there to look at some paintings, right?
I think she went there. Yeah.
Yeah, I would also look at the other painters that the other paintings. I'm sorry, that he did of black people. Like this is not the only painting that Wyeth did of black people, and if you could see some sort of pattern, I mean, not pattern of covering up like your models, but why this one again? Like, let me see if I can find dates for.
Nicholas Mijarovich was saying, I missed the beginning of this discussion, but I've seen many situations in which art historians try to forcefully impose a narrative that isn't there, which you would know if you ever try to paint.
Yes, that has happened. Like that constantly happens. Well, I'm seeing like another painting of Helga of 79, so that's afterwards.
Mhm.
Um so yeah, she's no, the on her knees painting. Danny, look Helga on her knees. 1970 Andrew Wyeth. I mean, I'm guessing that's the one that I'm thinking about. I
On
just
her
saw the
knees?
title. Yeah. But I'm
Oh.
guessing that's the one I'm always remembering.
Mm, 1977. So the
Yeah.
same year.
No, 1 year later.
No,
But the other ones were 76.
see?
But yeah. I looked. And put study maybe underneath study watercolor or something. Images maybe.
75. The study was
No,
in
it's a watercolor.
75.
No, I'm thinking of a watercolor. You could just put images.
Ya, un momento. Which one?
Oh, the look, the watercolor of her and like the pubic hair casting a shadow.
I don't see
It's
it.
like
This one?
yeah. I mean, that's why not try hide that? What year is that? Did they say the year?
71. Well, no, it says that all the drawings and paintings of Helga were between 71 and 85.
I'm 85.
No. I
No,
mean, they're not saying a date, so let's
no, no,
just
no, no, no.
not.
No. I'm saying because this is like, by the way, this is not about taking sides here. This is not. All I'm saying is that if we're gonna think like, oh yeah, well, I gotta hide this one, but then there's 8 years of painting, 9 years of painting afterwards of Helga. It's like, why that one? What? It's like, why that particular one? Why go that far to cover that particular painting? And you're going to paint the same model that you've been accused for, for about having an affair with, for 8 years, 9 years after that. Like, it doesn't make sense. Because you would say, no, that was the first one. He was going to try to hide the first one. It's like, no, he was painting her for 5 years before that. So I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. I'm sure that there's a story there. I don't think that's the story. I think that's a very, that story makes you talk. That's a conversation starter, to say the least. But that I really don't think that's true. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that if it's not based on facts, but just speculation,
Yeah.
it's a very terrible speculation.
Where does she say?
Like a very terrible accusation.
Yeah.
Too.
Does she say where she?
No, because I haven't seen the article, so I think we have to read more into it.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll have more news about this.
Mary S was saying, I think they talked about this in the documentary. And didn't they say the Helga pose was inspiration for the Barracoon pose? Or maybe it was the other way around.
Well,
Them saying this doesn't prove anything.
Right.
I know both paintings are extant, right? It's not like the Helga version went missing and the Barracoon painting appeared in its place. Gabriel Pozo was saying there's an article on the Washington Post about it. The director of the Met and his wife visited the Wyeths. Andrew showed the wife of the director the sketch, which is Helga. At the exhibition, she, the director's wife, saw the finished painting, which is of a black woman. I need more. Gabriel.
Yeah, that's. And I wouldn't say it's
Sounds
a
like
finished paint.
speculation,
Yeah,
said Gabriel.
I wouldn't say it's a finished painting either. I would say it's a watercolor. It's the same pose. It's the same pose. But even like this is, and he titled it Barracoon. Like
It's Barracoon and Barracoon 2.
I don't even like titling it for a white woman posing there. That would be weird. That's strange.
Well, but the one of Helga is called Barracoon 2.
Right, but wouldn't you guess like I was guessing like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird, but that's kind of interesting at least, right? Because it's a space that historically would have been like, okay, this is your space. This is a space for if you had a big house in the South and you had slaves or people working for your family, and you would have to put them in your house somewhere. You give them like this tiny room for the workers. So it's super racially heavy. There's a ton there in that title, and the fact that you would say, okay, this would have been one of the rooms that this was one of the rooms that would have been inhabited by a black woman, and you say, okay, I'm gonna do these two poses just to say, now it can be,
Like
through a
occupying the
painter's
same
lens.
spaces.
Yeah, through a painter's lens, like you can occupy that, like a white woman can occupy that space, a black woman can occupy that space, and maybe it's a strange, strange way of seeking balance, of saying we are beyond that. We like this space doesn't quite mean, what it used to mean. And then you speak about the sameness, even though there's never going to be sameness, but you speak about the sameness, through that same pose. Again, heavy-handed, I would feel strange, but I'm guessing like, okay, there's something there, but you don't go through you go through all that trouble and you title this and you make it like you make it two different paintings, Barracoon and Barracoon 2, and you make them racially sort of contextual just because you're covering up like an affair. That is too, and this one in particular, but not the 50 other works that he did of her. What? I don't know. I'm having a really hard time with this.
Let's see. Carla Anglada was saying if he did choose it as a present for his wife, he wouldn't want to give her a painting of his lover. Sorry, it's just more speculation. Yeah. So, just interesting to dig more about it.
Yes, for sure. And hopefully there's an account of this, of how this painting was made that doesn't quite rely upon one person's I don't know, interpretation maybe, or I don't know.
So let's say hi.
Yes.
Julia dice, uy, drawing session. No, Julia, so it was
That's a joke from
it's a joke.
Yeah.
Because Ben Flowers was saying, cannot believe your boldness to draw a drawing.
There we go. That's what we were looking for.
And Baron Dorf von Boglimore.
Oh,
Boglindorf the third.
I'm curtsying here.
You know what's terrible? I did it perfect the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm just nervous and I say terrible every single time.
They would have your
so
head
Baron
for that. The Baron would have your head for that.
Von Gum.
Off with her head. Off with her head.
The third was saying not enough drawings in the video title. Thumbs down.
Where's the dislike button, YouTube?
Noran was saying painting a painting from a drawing that was drawn.
Oh, beautiful. That's tomorrow's.
So let's go back to the very beginning. So Julian Cabrera was saying, hola Nico y Dani. Hola Julián, ¿qué tal? Sergio Beltrán dice hola. Hola Sergio, ¿qué tal?
Sergio.
Chapulín Colorado dice hola, buenos días. Hola
Chapulín.
Chapulín, buenos días. Noran was saying good morning. Good morning, Noran. Gabriel Pozo was saying live streaming and live stream. Oh, hello. Hey, Gabriel. Esther was saying, estaba diciendo hola, buenas tardes. Hola, Esther.
Doña Esther.
Guillaume Leroux
Lola.
was saying
Oh.
hello, everyone. Maybe because it was after she was recognized slash famous, or maybe he just wanted to paint a black woman and didn't want to bother doing a new painting.
No, it doesn't quite make sense.
No.
I don't know. There's more to this. To be a fly on the wall.
No, and thinking that, I mean, he wanted to paint a black woman but didn't want to bother doing a new painting. No, I think that would be very
You
problematic.
know how much time that painting probably took to make?
No, and also
That's a tempera or like dry brush. That is dozens and dozens of hours of painting because you can't paint that quickly. There's no, like the point. The fact that it's either a dry brush watercolor painting or an egg tempera painting, it means that it's going to be so much work to paint that painting. Like so much work. There's nothing in that thing. Like I don't know. That nothing fits for me, to be honest.
Catherine was saying hi, OPL. Hey, Catherine. Carlos Daniel Guerrero Lara dice hola, buen día a todos.
Buen día.
Hola, Carlos Daniel Guerrero Lara. Buen día. Lorena Greer was saying, hello, guys. I have a question, Nicolas.
Yes, please.
Why you haven't been in a contest like Portrait of the Year in London or something like this? You're amazing. I'm sure you'd win.
Oh, because I don't know if that's open for foreigners. I think you have to be.
Well, and you would have to go to London.
Yeah, I think you have to. You don't have to be British, but I think you have to at least live somewhere around there.
And even if you don't need to, I mean, it would be quite a expensive travel for you to be there just for that.
Oh, I would love to get nervous and suck, you know. But a few people that I know have been there, have been in that show. So
Jairo Cleves dice hola Dani Nico. Hola Jairo, ¿qué tal? Carla Anglada was saying good morning Dani and Nicolás. Interesting discussion. Hola Carla.
Carla.
Hi Carla. Nicholas Mijarovich was saying hello good people. Hello, number 4. How's it going? Emily Hales was saying hi friends. Hey Emily, how are you? Ibrahim Salah was saying who are the best gouache and watercolor portrait artists?
Oh Jesus.
Strange not finding that many.
Artists? A watercolor artist?
Like alive or like in all the history of art? Because I think there's quite an extensive list of names.
Although, because I think Ibrahim likes portrait.
No, because they were asking for portrait.
Right. And the truth is, it's not super. I would say it's a very niche thing, Danny. Traditionally, in terms of art history.
No, but that's why I was asking if it was contemporary or in tradition.
Yeah, but it's very small. Think about who painted watercolor portraits. Not painters that could do watercolor, and that because they did watercolor, they could eventually do portraits. But who is a watercolor portraitist? And that's not super common. You could say Zorn
Wyeth?
paint. Yeah, but it's not. I mean, I don't know. I think he paints people amazingly, but I wouldn't think of Wyeth as a portrait painter, to be honest. Painting people doesn't mean you're a portrait painter, I would say. It's strange to say it like that, but
Yeah, but I do think that there's artists that love painting portraits and also other subjects.
right, and that would be Wyeth, I would say.
Yeah.
Because he painted way more than a portrait. I mean, his range was just ridiculous. Um, I follow. I follow a painter, like a Chinese painter on on YouTube. Oh my God, I said Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I sounded like my mother trying to remember
Twitter.
all our names.
Yeah, MySpace.
Yeah, yeah. LimeWire. No,
No,
mom.
there you
There's
wouldn't.
no portraits there.
Yeah.
Um, he's tremendous. I think that there's a very classical, traditional, academic watercolor school with Chinese painters that it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Um, I would struggle to. I mean, I can name watercolor artists like painters that were not quite watercolorists, but were amazing at watercolor. But I don't know if that's what you're looking for. Like Fortuny was just amazing at watercolor. Zorn was incredible at watercolor. Sargent obviously was incredible at watercolor.
Mario J was saying Horace Jansen did remarkable watercolor portraits.
Right. He's more expressive though, I would say. Way more expressive.
Well, but portrait artist has, I mean, being a portrait artist has nothing to do with the portraits being more or less.
I have a
expressive,
feeling, just from what Ibrahim has asked in the past, that he wants something classical, that he's probably referring to something quite academic.
Hassan was saying hey. Hey, Hassan. Sergi Arts dice, hola, which painting are we talking about? Acabo de llegar. Hola, Sergi. Ah, bueno, no, pero Carla le dice, hi, Sergi. They're talking about the Andrew Wyeth painting Barracoon. So thank you, Carla, for answering. Gabriel Pozo was saying, I mean, they were trying to sell something.
As maybe are they referring to like
in
the
the
curator?
conversation when we were talking, yeah, I guess the curator, maybe.
Yeah, I think
Maybe they just want to, I don't know.
with all respect.
Well, no, the art historian, let's say.
Right. Well, that's a professor, I feel. Or maybe, yeah, she's an art
No,
historian.
because you said curator.
Curator/professor. Judging by the comment that this is, again, just judging by the comment. It seemed a little like she wanted to reach that conclusion from the beginning. That's all I'm going to say. It seemed like that. But honestly, I really can't. It's impossible. I can go with my gut as a painter. I'm not judging the human being. I have no clue. Like, I don't know. I could read, Andrew Wyeth's bio, but I have no clue, how he really was as a person. So, you can't say, no. That's completely untrue. But as a painter, I just find it so absurd to go to those lengths. And I don't know if this was a one-off painting, maybe, there could be all this like drama tied to it. And, but seeing how there's dozens of paintings of Helga that are just openly painted, they're there. I don't get it. I really don't. I really, really don't.
John Gavan was saying, hi, I'm John from Wales. Hey, John, how are
John
you?
From Wales.
Welcome here. Let's see. Mohammed was saying, hey. Hey, Mohammed. Let's see.
Oh, damn.
But what?
Painting this nose. Well, the drawing / and painting this nose is going to be my downfall, I feel.
Nightmare?
Yeah. Maybe I do like an Ashley Wood, just to try to.
Why don't you go closer?
No, I don't need to. No.
Okay,
This
okay.
is just bad drawing. Hi, I'm Nicolas, and I'm bad at drawing. So this is just me. But it's tough. This is really tough. But maybe I'll do what I was saying, a really shameless attempt at an Ashley Wood face, just to make it a little bit easier on myself.
Farhana Land was saying, "Hi, I'm from Bangladesh." Hey, Farhana. We are from Colombia. Welcome here. Cosette Pineda dice, hola gente buena, ¿cómo están?
¿Qué dice
Hola Cosette, ¿qué tal? Mario J was saying, oh yeah, morning. Kinda got distracted with the Wyeth conversation. Nicolas and Danny, have you done any egg tempera work? So I tried it in the university. I had a class that was about how to translate that, like techniques of painting, and we did that. And I enjoyed it. But it was, I mean, to be honest, it was just a couple exercises. So I didn't do it after that. But I think I like it. I like the tempo of it, like the very slow tempo of it. And you?
I did a couple of paintings also as well, and I absolutely, it drove me insane, the slowness of it. So
I liked it. I mean, it was something completely different, but I liked it. I mean, I'm a very slow painter,
yeah, no, there's
so
nothing like
it makes sense.
Anthony Williams does tempera,
Hmm.
and he's incredible paintings.
Yeah. And I really like the process of like pinching the egg yolk. It was
Yep.
Cool. Have you tried it, Mario?
Oh, fuck me. This is gonna be. Okay, sorry.
Why don't you?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking gonna paint this. So sorry. That's me getting pumped up.
Jennifer Alarza dice, hola, qué bien verlo en directo. Hola Jennifer, bienvenida.
Pobre Jennifer se topó
Con la bestia.
con
La bestia.
poniéndome bravo. Pero eso pasa. Cuando es difícil, eso pasa. Qué pena. Vamos a ver. Algo va a salir. Yo sé que estoy además haciendo como, o sea, 2 horas en un pedacito de cabeza, pero es que si no hago esa cabeza bien, o sea, si no me queda lo que quiero, chao, el resto de pintura vale chimba, no importa. Entonces, tengo que hacer esto bien.
Clapausius
Ujú.
dice, hola, un gusto. ¿Qué pinceles estás usando?
Cerda, lengua de gato, sintético lengua de gato, plano largo, sintético, plano más corto
Sintético.
y un redondito.
¿Ese no es como un lining?
No tanto pues sí, pero no debería ser más largo si fuera como un lining brush. Ese es más como un redondito delgadito y ya.
En la cámara parece un lining.
Sí, pero no
Como
lining.
un lining más cortito.
Exacto. Sí, porque mira la diferencia.
Sí, no, pues yo sé. Ben Flowers was saying, I want to hear how you as an artist encourage yourself while making work. Do you walk away from your work feeling joyful or happy about it? So I think it was a perfect timing for the
grunt?
beast scream appearance.
Yeah. Well, I'll walk away. Yeah, I walk away when I'm satisfied. If not, I'm just gonna fight I'm gonna fight through the whole painting. Yeah, I get very frustrated if I can't seem to find what I'm trying to get to with a painting, and I'll just keep painting until I get something out of it. Like at some point, it just has to work as a painting. So like I just grabbed like a tiny brush because I wanted to draw that head again, And no, now I'm realizing, nope, that's not the way to do it. So we're gonna have to go slow and
Suffer through it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I'm joking. I'm joking. Of
no, no,
course
no,
not.
no. Like I just have to go slow. Like check, triple check things. Let's see if we could do this. I mean, it's painting like this when you're trying to paint something that's just gonna be tough, and you realize it's gonna be tough. It's insufferable. I mean, it's one of the most annoying things in the world, but pushing through it is super super important. So let's see how we do. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to talk out loud while I'm trying to do this. What
So
I'm
while you
noticing,
talk, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go grab
yeah,
a sweater.
no, no, please. So what I'm thinking is that my distances were wrong. Like I was getting a little too excited with the width, which does make a huge difference um, because the head starts to turn more like it starts to behave more like a profile and not as a head that's turning slightly, around. And that's what I'm going for. I need that slight turn. That's going to make that feel super beautiful. Easiest thing to do would be um just not be disciplined and just paint a something that leans more towards a profile, like a perfect profile. But then you lose everything that's interesting about that position of the head, and that's not what we're here for. We're here to we want to go for those tiny little things, even if it kills us. So I need to be a little more mindful of these like super small distances. Um, and hopefully we can do this better. But I think my angle is right here. I mean, it has to go back, so at least in terms of an angle, it has to do that. Then it drops and it has to do this, but it's very short, and then it turns here. So I have very, very little space for the lower lip. And then the lower lip actually tucks in, and from behind you see the chin. I get it. I get what I have to do. Now it's just doing it, which is, again, that's the insufferable part.
Zeus Gaming was saying hi. Hey Zeus. R2112
Mm-hmm.
was saying, I'm at the art store, literally just about to pick up some water based oil in Zorn. Lots of love.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, cool.
Let us know how that goes.
Are you grabbing the medium too? R2112? Or are you gonna be stubborn as we were and use it with water? By the way, we haven't tried the medium.
Yeah. You bought that one.
Well, and you bought the water-based oil, so that
I
has
be,
nothing to
I
do.
painted a lot with those.
I did too. Not a lot, but I did. So I mean,
That's on
you
you.
and
I'm
I,
gonna
we
say
both can use
I'm gonna say
the
you have to
medium.
use it first, and you got to tell me how you feel.
So later.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like no, later, because in my head I was saying maybe I could try it, and then I said no, I have to finish the carving. So
yeah.
later,
Yeah. Whenever you have time.
later, Gator. Baron Jorf von Boglimdorf the third.
Off with her head.
No, I did it good, I think. Was saying, wait.
Wait.
You can get water soluble oil paints? That's crazy.
Sounds weird, but yes.
Yeah,
those
you
exist.
can.
I mean, they're emulsions, so they're not. It's not that they're oil paint and then that's it, and you can just mix it with water. No, no, no. They actually have like an emulsion based binder in them, so you can use water, and you can clean your brushes with just soap and water.
Ibrahim Salah was saying, Nicolas, you know exactly what I meant. No wonder you are my art psychologist.
Oh, stop.
Yes, thank you both. Ahmad was saying, está diciendo hola. Hola, Ahmad. Eh, Aritrodev was saying, do I have to master drawing in order to paint great?
Oh, no. Not master? No. No. I mean, it's good if you draw, if you have a relationship with drawing. But you don't have to. I mean, who masters something through their lifetime? Very, very few people.
Leo dice, buenas, saludos desde Argentina. Hola, Leo.
Leo.
Saludos hasta Argentina. Cacaíto Pelón dice, morning,
A ti
¿cómo
te gusta
están?
ese desde y hasta, ¿no? ¿Te gusta?
Pues
No, sí, no estoy diciendo nada. No
de
es
pronto,
ningún juicio.
no, estoy tranquilo, estoy pensando que no me había fijado. De pronto lo digo mucho.
No, no haya ningún juicio sobre el
No, digo,
comentario.
o sea, es que no soy consciente si lo digo mucho. O sea, no es
No,
como que
no,
yo diga, sí,
no.
me encanta. Solo no soy consciente. Cacaíto dice, morning, ¿cómo están? Hola,
Buenos días.
Cacaíto, muy bien, ¿y tú? ¿Cómo va el trabajo? Mario J was saying, no, I haven't done any egg tempa work. For some reason, learning another new medium seems just too overwhelming. I gotta go to work. Have a nice day. You too,
Okay, have
Mario.
great
Have a
work.
great day. Liad was saying, hi, everyone.
Liad.
Hey, Liad. How are you? Mm. Kusum Grewal or Gruel was saying, do you know K-pop?
Oh, no.
Well,
Sorry.
I know what it is. We know what it is, but I think I haven't listened to it.
No. Sorry.
No. Maybe if
¿Dónde está
Mario is
Mario?
here, yeah.
Sí.
Mario
¿Dónde está Mario?
Leon, we need you. Um Ben Flowers was saying, I definitely understand your perspective on wrestling with paintings to find the result you're looking for. I do find it more difficult to share the perspective when learning because there's much more tension surrounding execution and technique, etc., etc. Mm, so let me do the translation. Because there's a Russian username,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to see how to say it. And according to Google Translate, it is dog bespectacled, but I don't know. And they were saying nice draw. Let's see. So Kusum was saying, try listening to 17. You can try listening to any pen. Read the comments, please. Oh, we do. It takes a bit. So, it takes a bit, but yeah, we're gonna read them. Michel Gallo was saying in a painting, how often do you feel a part of it works quite well, but doesn't work for the total painting?
It happens often. Ideally, you don't let yourself do that. You don't let yourself like say, well, the painting sucks, but this little area is great. You know, you want to when you recognize why a smaller area is working, ideally, again, this is tough, but ideally, you should go back to your painting and say, okay, why is this little area working? Let's see how we can incorporate that into the rest of the painting. Let's see how we can learn from that small instance and educate ourselves as to what we need to do for the rest of the painting. I'm saying ideally because we many times can recognize something that's going on, but it doesn't mean we're capable of like fixing it or making adjustments because it's tough. Like the reason is super simple, and it's always because it's very sometimes it's easy to spot the things that are off, and we just don't have the ability to know how to fix them. That is just how it is.
Cacaíto Pelón dice, ¿todo bien? Creo que me está dando gripa otra vez, jaja.
No,
No,
cacao, ¿qué
Cacaíto.
es eso?
Y dice, pero bueno, todo al pelo. Los empecé a ver desde mi perfil del trabajo, pero no puedo dejar comentarios, jaja, por eso me conecté desde el mío. Cacaíto, así no puedas dejar comentarios, suscríbete desde el perfil del trabajo, por favor.
Se no
Todo
demoran en
cuenta.
llamarla por
Todo cuenta.
estar haciendo lo que no debe
De pronto nos llaman a nosotros.
en el
Oigan, no
computador del
sabemos
trabajo.
qué pasó, no sabemos cómo llegamos a este canal, pero tenemos
No,
una
pero entonces
propuesta
ahí
de
sí
trabajo.
ahí hay hartas, no, gracias. Pero hay hartas personas entonces que no
Que
están
nos
haciendo lo
ven.
que deben.
Sí, no, y es que Cacaíto me dijo que a Santi le había tratado de dar gripa también. Pero no, Cacaíto toca vitamina C, juiciosa con la vitamina C, tecito, bufanda al salir. Ah, sí. Cosette Pineda dice, ¿y si un día no tienes ganas de pintar y lo tienes que hacer? ¿O siempre tienes esas ganas y te sale excelente?
No, Cosette, pero hoy no es el día para eso. Hoy estoy puteando porque no puedo hacer una cabecita. Entonces, hoy es el día perfecto para uno darse cuenta. No, pues uno pinta así no le salga. Estoy como pujando acá.
¿Qué puede ayudar?
Nada, mi amor, nada. Que me ilumine
¿Agua?
alguien.
¿Quieres agua?
No, 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 no.
¿En la cara?
No, 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 no. No, no,
Mm,
no. No,
¿Quieres
no, no, no,
que yo
nada.
maneje la conversación?
No, tranquila. Si no lo puedo hacer hablando, tampoco lo puedo hacer callado, lindita. Eso sí. No busquemos disculpas.
Eh, Cosette Pineda dice puteando, jajajaja.
Qué
Pero
pena, qué,
te va quedando súper bien.
qué pena, qué pena. Qué
Sí,
pena.
sí.
Todo es con disculpas. Lo que pasa es que no.
Sí, hoy estamos eh, esperando la notificación de
No, que no lo quiten.
que nos quiten que nada. No empieces a decir bobadas, no.
No, el de este, que no nos
Cacaíto
dejen
dice,
monetizar este.
Cacaíto dice, sí, ya me suscribí, jaja, y puse las notificaciones. Bueno, Cacaíto. Así sí. Así sí. Joao Mateus da Silva was saying boa tarde, queridos. I don't know. ¿Cómo se dice? Queridos.
Te toca, no. Tú.
Queridos. Boa tarde, queridos. I don't know. So, boa tarde, Joao. Cosette dice, no, pero se escuchó delicioso.
No,
Bueno,
pues
Cosette, yo
Cosette.
no sé. Sí,
Cosette,
no
¿qué está
sé.
pasando ahí? No se
No,
aplique.
no sé qué decir. Ah, so, I forgot the name. Wait.
Cosette.
No, it was like dog something. So, dog bespectacled.
Mm-hmm. From Wales.
No.
No?
What? No, because it's the Russian name.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So dog bespectacled,
Okay.
was saying nice talent, but it long about I'm not wanted to sad you. What? I
Well,
didn't get it.
there's
They're
a
saying no, but
language.
I know Russian, Italian, and French. Oh, so maybe Italian. Nicolas, like, no, kind of no. You do understand and speak
Sì.
Italian, fluent Italian.
Io parlo un po'.
Un po' prepotente.
Un po' prepotente.
They were also saying, I like your arts and your guy so good, and I like your stream drawing. Respect. Thank you. Mm, Cosette Pineda dice, y si dejas un rato el rostro avanzas en otra cosa, te cambie el mood.
Yo sé, Cosette, eso es lo que uno pensaría que uno tiene que hacer. Eso tiene sentido, Cosette. Pero ya estoy tercamente.
Kusum Grewel was saying, do you know India? Well, we haven't been there.
No.
We would love to go,
Love to.
but we haven't been there.
No. Sadly.
Cosette was saying, jajaja. Cosette dice, jajaja. Bueno.
No más,
Y
Cosette.
dice, sí, hágalo, a mí me pasa.
A todos nos pasa.
Salmon Cutter was saying, hello, everyone. I was like, hashtag 29. What? What's hashtag 29? Does it ring a bell to you?
For me?
Yeah.
No. Maybe they're having another conversation?
No, because they were just saying hi. So they were just like getting to the
29.
live stream. Maybe they can let us know. So is it like your birthday? 29th birthday?
No, that happened a long time for me ago.
Oh, they were saying, no, I was the like number 29 on the stream. Oh, so I was like number 29. So maybe it's a good moment if people would like to give it a like. Does it do something?
Nothing. For us? No.
Samuel Coomer was saying, yo, I'm gonna pick up Spanish now. Listening here would be great conversation experience.
Awesome.
You
Yes.
should. And Spanish is very cool.
Start with Duolingo.
That's where
Baby
I got
steps.
my 4 words from Italian.
Yeah, Danny can order an apple.
Hmm? No, I don't know how to order it. I could say apple.
Una mela, per favore.
Una mela, per favore.
Sì.
E un tavoglio. Grazie mille. No. Non zucchero.
Non
Grazie
zucchero. What were you going to put sugar on?
No. They were asking me if
Yeah,
I
but
wanted sugar in the apple.
in the apple? Okay.
And I said, no, thank you. Because that's the only thing I know how to say. What else? Io sono una
Donna.
donna.
Mm.
Io sono una donna. ¿Cómo se dice?
Meravigliosa.
Y tú eres.
E
tú.
voi?
E tu eri.
No, e tu.
E tu eres un uomo.
E lui?
E lui
Sono.
e lui sono un uomo.
Sì.
Il mio
Mm?
coppia. La mia coppia.
Pero Fer nos dijo que copia no era tan
No.
como... No. Tu dirías
mio
il mio
ragazzo.
ragazzo.
Il mio ragazzo è un cuoco.
Lei è la mia ragazza. Lei?
No, but cuoco, I mean,
Cuoco?
cuoco it's
Io non sono
a
un
chef,
cuoco.
yeah,
Mm.
but you're Coco, so that's why I always say cuoco. So, il mio ragazzo è un coco. Better?
È un cuoco?
Coco.
Coco.
Mm, what else? I think I got a couple words when we were in Rome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and honestly, Google Translate, and you could sound it out. Probably sound it out.
No, and I mean I was able to go to the store and buy things.
Yeah. Although you spoke in Spanish with the girl at the store, but
Not
that's
always,
fine.
because there was also a man,
Okay.
and he had no idea of Spanish or English. So it
Oh.
was harder. And he was like speaking super fast Italian.
No, Italian.
No, like super fast.
They speak fast.
And I was like, what? But no, after a couple of days, I kind of got it. Or maybe I was like always answering to different things that when he was asking, but
Is that why you were always coming from the store with stuff that we didn't need?
um,
Okay, this is better. This I like. So finally I like something.
so now you can exhale.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's something. But it's not quite what I was going for. But I've realized that my painting is just like, I can't do it. Scrape, scrape. Curse, curse. Fuck, 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 fuck. Paint, repaint. Oh, that looks good. And that's when I stop.
Great.
That is my paint. That's how I paint.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, it works. So, sort of.
Emily Hales was saying, I realized I'm on my other YouTube account that I normally am. For the chat, I'm usually just Emily. Oh, Emily. Yeah, they were saying with the orange E as my picture. Yes.
So
I
Danny
thought you were new.
recognizes you,
Yeah.
I think.
And I even remember the color of the
Of the E?
Yeah.
There we go.
Anyways, what is the best part of your guys' day so far?
So far,
Hmm.
well, this is early-ish for us, so not a lot has happened. But I woke up like at 4 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
because I have to be up before 5, like 10 to 5, to wake up my son because he goes to school like super early. They pick him up super early.
So your best part was waking up super early?
The best part of waking up, it's Folgers in your cup. The best part was what did I learn today? What did I see today? Well, I mean, I'm devastated by the Wyeth story, if it's true. So that's not it.
No, they're asking for the best part.
Best part. Let me think.
You saw an episode of I forgot the name.
You know, I was looking. Oh, I saw Andor. Yeah,
Yeah, and
the
I was gonna
episode
say
from a
that.
couple days ago. It's brilliant. It's so good. And you know what? Somebody that's a concept artist from the show.
Mm-hmm.
I commented like Disney, or I follow the Andor official like little Instagram thing,
Yeah.
and I commented like amazing show, love it. And an artist that's the concept designer, he wrote to me and he's like, "Hey, I work on this show, and thank you. I'm super
so
happy that you like
cool.
it." Yeah. So nice.
So
That's
cool.
how you make like connections with people. That's so awesome.
It's so cool.
Yeah. So that was nice. Yes, that was nice, but that was yesterday though, I feel. But the show is brilliant. I love that show. I was looking at some Jean Paul Leon's drawings this morning. I was looking at, because I'm searching for this unpublished Batman story that he did, but unfortunately that story you can only get digitally. I don't think they printed it, but you can only get digitally through a DC Infinite. I forget what it's called. It's like I don't know. It's like their app for comic books, for like online, comic books and digital stuff and whatever. And it doesn't work here I guess it's geo based, so it doesn't work in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very sad because I want that.
Mm-hmm.
And but I saw some of the panels and some of the pages that he did before he passed, and they are incredible. They're probably some of the most beautifully designed comic book
Oh, you
pages.
should show them to me.
Yeah, they're amazing. And looking at his Twitter, because they still have his Twitter, he had some photos with Kim Jong-gi in 2016, like both of them hugging, and I was like, oh, that's too much power right there. Like that made me happy. I mean, it made me very sad, but it made me very happy that two of the, greatest drafts people that I think were alive, like in our time, were, had a moment together.
Hmm.
That made me super, super happy.
Yeah.
So seeing that photo was like, oh, this is very cool. This is very nice.
That's a nice thing to be your favorite thing of the day.
I think so. It made me happy. Like happy sometimes. It's like happy sometimes can be borderline sad. So there was a bit of sadness to it, but there's like underneath all of it was
It was
I was very,
emotional.
very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine is not that.
No, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
like that.
So I had a great cookie in the morning. No, I'm joking.
No, that's good. I mean, even if you were serious, that's
No.
totally fine.
No, you know what? Yesterday, I was very stressed
Little bit.
because I do over stress.
A little bit.
Because I do overthink.
A little bit.
And I get overexcited with things.
A
Like
little
I
bit.
anticipate things.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I was going to cut it there. But yeah.
And I was a little bit worried because I thought that I wasn't going to be able to bring our dog the day we wanted. But now my sister was in the airport and she was able to confirm the age.
That you can travel the date that you wanted to travel to go pick up
Exactly.
the dog. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm happy
So-
for you. You can totally do this. I'm
so
super
now
happy for you.
I have to buy the tickets.
Yes.
But I'm happy
And
because of that.
still a ways away, we have to say.
I know.
Maybe
I mean,
for the
it's
people-
December.
Yeah, but sometimes people listen to this and go like, "Oh my god." But no. Still a little bit away. But yeah, you want to plan this right so that there's no surprises.
The thing is that, I mean, it is good sometimes, but it is terrible sometimes. But I am a planner. I mean, I need to plan things.
Right?
And I need to, like, have things scheduled in my head.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I set a date in my head, and maybe it changes after I have planned things,
Yeah.
it frustrates me.
And it may not even be like planned things, but just like your mind is already like, yes, this is the date I'm doing.
Yeah, the thing is that I'm super excited. So for me, it's terrible to think, okay, this is the date. Like the waiting would finally come to an end in this day.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nope, 15 days more.
Yeah.
So,
Which, if you think about, we were talking about this yesterday. Like, if it's 10, 15 more days, it's like, that is so nothing. That's like, I mean, if it came to like that you have to wait that time, let's say for unplanned reasons, then you just wait 15. What is 15 days with hopefully 15 years with a dog? It's nothing.
or more.
Yeah, it's nothing. So
Let's hope more.
it is nothing.
Mm. Average between 15 and 20 years.
Yeah.
Let's please go to 20.
So what is like 10 more days, Danny? That's like, I know you're excited, but
Yeah. I'm super excited. But I also have to say that the person that has Chile at the moment
yeah,
has been very nice.
there we go.
And she's been sending like photos and videos and
That's awesome.
she's like, "Hey, have you settled the date? Is there something else you want to know?" Like she's been like super cool.
That's good.
So, mm, Samuel Kummer was saying, I was going to say, one of my old professors could speak French and Spanish, and he traveled to Italy and could read and understand menus, lol, and order just fine. Compared to American English, Spanish is hella fast. Oh, and I think that we don't speak that quickly in Spanish as we could here.
No, no.
I was even asking you about that before we started streaming. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
That I told you,
Sorry.
are you
I
able to
apologize.
speak super fast? And you were like, no, I'm not able to do that. So, and
Oh, about like naturally speaking fast?
yeah,
No, no,
because
no.
I think that in Spanish I could speak like super quickly. Super quickly.
No, no, no. I think I get what you're saying, but no, I wouldn't be able.
I don't do it, but I'm able to. And regarding what Samuel was saying about understanding Italian menus and things that are written in Italian, I was able to do that too. Even uh, in one time that I was with a dear friend of ours in the Vatican Museum, and they
Of
were
art?
of art. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting so weird with it. They were talking about restoration in Italian, but I was able to get every single thing they were saying. Like it sounded familiar to Spanish.
Yeah.
The words, like I could get everything they were saying, but I couldn't answer back because I know, like I listen to the words and I know what they mean, but I don't have the words to answer back. If that makes sense. Mm, David Lee was saying Jungi Tiger finished. Yes, yes, it's in our webpage if you want to check it out. So let me just share it here so you can see it.
I got to take a nice photo, and I'm thinking of sharing like a Dropbox like we used to for
With that
anyone
one.
that wants to but I got to take like a better photo of
No,
it.
that's cool.
Yeah, for anyone that wants to like download it and print it, they can do that.
Liad was saying, what Wyeth story? So, Liad, we had a whole conversation about Andrew Wyeth at the beginning. Maybe afterwards you can check it out.
It had to do with the Barracoon painting.
Mm-hmm.
That apparently somebody said that the painting was a Helga painting originally, and Wyeth painted over or made Helga appear to be a black woman that worked for their house in order to hide the fact that he was painting her from his wife. To painting Helga from his wife. So very strange.
Let's see. MCLA film was saying, hi, Danny Nicolas, beautiful composition. Looking forward to the Kickstarter book. Best,
Oh, awesome.
David.
Thank you.
And they were saying also, why is the tiger painting so much more expensive?
If you can see the there's been a couple of paintings that and all throughout like these 3 years there's only been a couple of paintings, if I'm remembering correctly, over $2,000. There's only been 3 paintings that we've ever posted. So out of
I think more.
No, over $2,000 we haven't posted anything. You know, there's $2,000 of you sleeping.
Yeah.
5,000 of the girl with the girl being fair.
Fair, yeah, with the flowers.
With the I always think like people maybe don't
know
realize
who Fer is.
So of the girl with the sunflowers, which happens to be my daughter Fer, and 5,000 for this Kim Jung-gi, and 5,000 for Andrew the Giant.
Yeah,
so it's 3 that are $5,000, 1 that it's 2,000, and every other painting, everything else I think on average has probably been $300 on average, because we did around almost 400 paintings that were $250
Mm-hmm.
all the time. So that is, I would say that that's pretty awesome. The fact that we could honor um, the ideal that we had to make a lot of work just accessible. Um, and there's, the reason that some of them are more expensive, which it's kind of weird, but because, I mean, we did this to ourselves, but because these paintings were treated as something completely apart from the history of my market and my history of painting, where if you would have followed my history of painting, or if you would have gone to galleries to ask for my paintings,
Yeah,
like
like your
that would,
market
yeah,
before.
like that would be a price. Like, it's not weird to see a medium-sized painting, small to medium-sized painting, cost in a gallery, anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000. That's totally fine. Like, if you think about it, if you take, let's say, 4 weeks to paint something, and if you sell it for 2,000 in a gallery, you're getting $1,000, and you're probably going to get less after if you make enough money to have to file for taxes. You're going to get, around $750, $800. So, um, that, that's not a lot of money. But the thing is, when we think of selling something for 2,000, it always sounds almost like scandalous, right? It almost sounds like, whoa, that's too much. But in reality, that was my life for a while. That life that I led, commercially, is what made it um comprehensible for me to say, hey, let's offer these paintings, these daily paintings that we're going to do. Let's offer them at a price that I've never, offered anything before. And that was our drive throughout those 2 years. We've actually kept it in many ways. I mean, we started painting larger, but we upped the price only like $100 in some of them. So a lot of them were 350, some 400. We couldn't adjust the shipping price because we always ship through FedEx from here because it's the only option that we have. And we couldn't adjust it because it's already set like in the store. It's like almost like a universal price. I know that I don't even know if there's another way of adjusting it, but I haven't found it like I haven't found a way to do it easily through Squarespace. So we kept those prices, but obviously for larger paintings, we have to pay a lot more for the shipping. So we tried to like adjust the final price so it could incorporate some of that. We could take some of that and put it towards the shipping, towards the FedEx. Um, but there are paintings, to your question. There are paintings that you feel different about. They're not better or worse. Like, if I had done the Andre the Giant, like, and I said I think it's worth $5,000. Like, nobody has to believe it's worth $5,000. It doesn't matter. That's just a way of me saying I really enjoy this painting. And a lot of people could have said, dude, you've painted dozens of paintings that are better. Like, that's not worth that. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? But maybe I can say, hey, it's not like one for you, one for me. You know how people would say, like, I'm going to do something for everyone, and then I'm going to do something for myself. It's
Mm-hmm.
not even two for you, one for me. It's not even 10 for me, 10 for you, one for me. It's more like 100 for you and one for me.
Mm.
So out of 400 paintings, there's been four that I go like, you know what? I like this painting. And price does not equate to me liking it, but it's just a very symbolic way of saying, I want this. I want this to be with me. And you could say, well, don't offer it. Just keep it. And we talk about this. We've talked about this before, but the don't show it, just keep it. I know it's fine, and I know a lot of artists do that, and I know a lot of artists like protect, quote unquote, protect their collection and treasure their collection. It happens a lot with like comic book artists, because, and that's kind of easier, I feel sometimes, because if you get well paid doing an illustration or some, a comic book cover, and you get like thousands of dollars for a comic book cover, but you still have your original art, and you go like, you know what? I'm going to make more money from this, and it was printed and it's popular, and you keep that for as long as you want, and then you put it, for sale eventually. That kind of makes more sense, right? Because you already got paid. You got thousands of dollars for the making of this work. And after that, you can make thousands of dollars if you wanted to by selling it. So that when, in that situation, people don't usually question those things. Like, yeah, sure, he got paid for the job, but the original is going to be worth a lot of money. For us, it's we always have to sell stuff. Like, that is the curse slash blessing of deciding to be a commercial artist. You're deciding to live from doing things. And I've spoken about this before. I've probably sold, even though that Kim Jung-gi painting is born from nothing but respect. I've done paintings of my dad that passed that I love. And those are paintings that I ended up offering and people ended up buying. I've done paintings of my mom that hasn't passed obviously, but I love too. And some, awesome friends of ours have those paintings and treasure them and like them and respect them as much or maybe even more than we do. And those have been difficult to say goodbye. Like, those have been very, very difficult to say goodbye to. So my point in all of this is like, it's always weird and tough to do something that you love. And it's always weird to try to explain to people that you love this. And it's even weirder to say, I love this, but I also know that, I got to put it up for sale because that's, what good is it for me, let's say, if I make a painting and I love it, I absolutely love it, but I also know that I have to pay for my kids, schools. Like, schools cost money here. So I have to pay for my kids' school, like both their schools. What good is it in real life to say, hey, kids, I couldn't pay for your school, but look at this painting. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. And it's like, what? No. So real life, sometimes you have to say goodbye to stuff that you really, really like. And, sometimes you just put a price on something that says, it's hard for me to let go of this, but obviously the market for it is going to become smaller and smaller when you price it higher and higher. But when you see somebody that says, you know what, it's a high price, but I'm willing to pay it because it means something for me also, you have to respect that. You have to. You have to at some point realize that it's out of your hands and you just have to let something go. I think that's a natural part of it. But anyways, I hope that's because that's probably more than what you asked for when you asked about the painting being more expensive than the rest. But there's a reason for it. I think that there's a legitimate reason for all of that. It's not oh my God, look what this guy's trying to pull. No. That painting, if that painting doesn't sell for years, I'm fine. Like, I'll be so happy with that painting here in our home. I think it's a great painting, and I'm gonna love looking at that painting. But I thought the same of Fera and the Sunflowers, and somebody bought that painting. I think they just got it through FedEx, and it's incredible. I'm incredibly grateful that somebody found it as beautiful as I think it is.
Mm-hmm. And it's also beautiful when people say, this is worth that for me.
Yeah.
And that has happened with our painted lives. And I just wanted to say that it's also important to know and to understand that we said that we were going to keep the prices in 250 for 2 years, and we did.
Yes.
And we did for 2 years, but that doesn't mean that has to be the norm for the prices from that on, because that's why those 2 years were special and different. And
yeah, I think people, I know what you're saying, Danny, and I hope people, and I know people because they've been super kind with us. it's not a thing like, oh, you guys didn't keep your promise. It's like, oh, if you don't understand how difficult it is to make a living off of selling paintings at 250 bucks, which is 250 bucks that, first of all, half of that money goes to Danny, half of that money goes to me. Like,
And part of
period.
that goes to
Half
PayPal.
of every single dollar that we get, 50% is Danny's, 50% is mine. So, period. That's not even negotiable. But you don't ever get 250. You get 250 minus PayPal, and we have to get the money here in
Minus the
Colombia.
change of
So
the dollar,
minus
yeah.
the exchange, minus what the bank gets. So it is. I used to think about it, and it's probably closer to 90 bucks. Which like Danny would get 90 bucks, I would get 90 bucks for each painting. That's not easy to maintain. I don't care where you live, I don't care what you do, but if you're painting day in, day out, to do that for 2 years, that's not easy. Trust me.
And to
It's,
have 4 people depending on that income
yeah, like
and no other source of income
we don't want to
also.
go too much into our lives because you guys don't need to care about any of this. But Danny helps her family out. Like I take care of my 2 kids. Like there's a lot of people that like are affected by our decisions. Let's say, so it's not super simple. Like real world, it's not super simple. That's why we honestly said, "Oh, let's try to do this 2 years," because deep down, you know that it's hard. A lot of people were like, you know, very, very, very doubtful that what we were trying to do was going to work. They were like, "Oh, that's not sustainable, dude. Like, you're not going to stand like 6 months of this. Like, that's ridiculous." But I think the core of it, like the essence of it, we've been able to maintain, we've been able to keep, you know, and it's going to be 3 years. So I think we've done pretty well. So, like I said, it's sure it's a little. It may look jarring a little bit to say, "Whoa, that's expensive." Mm, if you probably like, if I was a comic book artist and these were covers that go for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and if you saw that price from the beginning, you would just be like, "Oh yeah, that's what a cover goes for." Yeah, sure. Um, but because we made an effort to try to make things accessible, then we know that that's eventually people can compare prices to what we regularly did, and I think that we still do. Like this painting is going to be 350 bucks. So, and and I can say that because, the past other couple of paintings we sold for 350 bucks. So, does that mean that the painting that I drew and I did the underpainting of Danny is going to be 350? No, because 350, the money that we would get would barely cover the cost of shipping that
Mm-hmm.
painting, of FedExing that
Yeah,
painting.
because also you were saying 90 and 90 with the 250, and that's thinking if the dollar at that moment and if the place where the person who bought it was, for example, in the US, and it was like right perfect for what we charge for. Right perfect, what am I saying? It was perfect for what we were charging for the shipping, because many times we did have to put more money of like out from what we were asking for shipping to ship something to a different country. So it was $90 in the best case scenario. So
Yeah, yeah. So again, this is not like, oh, like this is not a like a pity talk, or this is not. No, it's just how things are.
no, and
That's
I think it's important to also be super
oh,
honest
we're
about
really
those
transparent.
things. Yeah,
We're
no, no,
super
no,
transparent.
no, and I think it's important because I mean maybe people see us here and they think, oh no, they're making a living out of YouTube. No, I mean we get like $5 for every video. So we don't get from YouTube like a big amount of money. It's not our source of income. It is selling the paintings. And so that's why I think it's important to also have these conversations.
Yeah.
So, um, let's see. That face was saying "whoa."
I don't know regarding what, but okay.
No, before. So the painting, I guess. Uh, Aritrodev was saying, "Do you support any other clubs apart from Liverpool?"
Um, in here, I'm a Millonarios fan. Not. I would say that probably when I was younger, I was supporting them a lot more actively. I would say I don't go to the stadium that much here. Um, Believe it or not, I used to be a Gunner fan, like an Arsenal fan back when I was young. Because, I mean, in here you can be. I remember my son. Like my son has been a Real Madrid fan, then a Barcelona fan, and I think he now has landed for the last couple of years as a United fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, go figure that out. But yeah. So we have, I guess, we have the quote unquote luxury of saying, no, I just like football. So I'm just gonna pick a club that I really enjoy watching play.
Yeah.
And I used to enjoy loving watching the
I used to
Arsenal, like
enjoy
the
loving watching.
I used to enjoy. I used to love watching. I used to enjoy, comma,
Loving watching.
love, comma, watching the Wenger Arsenal from the beginning, like the early Wenger Arsenal, like um,
Well,
the
I
unbeatables,
loved
the
what?
yeah. Well, I told you that the other day that they're the only club that has finished the season unbeaten.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that I used to be a huge supporter of Barca before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the golden, I remember to love Barca like before and after for a bit. Um, after the amazing Barca from the Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, before was. I mean, they went through a couple of managers. Because Rijkaard was there also, and it was
Mm.
really good too.
Yeah, but I was a supporter of Barca. Yeah. So yeah. Mm, let's see.
What was that? Backspace, backspace.
I was trying to delete something, but then I closed the tab. It was easier like that. Sneha Sima was saying, "Hi Danny, watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy and making up with some colors now. Happy to catch you all." Hey Sneha. You know, I haven't seen Grey's Anatomy.
I probably saw like half a season when
I
I
mean,
was
maybe I
younger.
saw like one episode.
Yeah, like way years ago. I know who the protagonist is. I know who the doctor
Well, I
that
know.
she loved was, that she fell in love with,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it.
Let's see. Sneha was also saying, "I also have a couple of questions. Forgive me for the nonsense. I'm
That's totally fine.
I'm applying to Grand Central Atelier
Oh, very
next
nice.
year
Okay.
and was wondering if you or
Yeah.
Nico,
Ooh, Nico.
ever took part-time jobs to support yourself?"
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we both did. And they were saying, or if it's silly to think that you can pay for training plus living in New York City on minimum wage. I've dreamt of studying art for a long time, but it always seems less intelligent to choose to be in depth for art. So I'm gonna answer super quickly. And the reason I answer super quickly to let Nicolas speak is because I did have part-time job
But
when
you
I
can
was
take.
studying.
But Danny, you can take all the time you need. Don't
No,
you
no,
don't have
no.
to
But
rush through it.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna rush through it because I think in my case it was different because my parents were paying for my education and it was here in Bogota. So I do think that the like living and paying for your studies in Bogota is way different than in New York, because I do think that it's not a secret for nobody that New York is a very expensive city, one
Yeah.
of the most expensive cities in the world. So I would say that in my case, it was different. I was working so I could help with some of the payments, but it was not because it was required by my parents, but because I felt that I was just spending a lot of money in supplies, in materials, in even when I wanted to, I don't know, go out to have lunch with friends, I would have to ask them for money. And I felt like they were paying for my education already and for a lot of things, for my health, for a lot of things. And I felt bad that I wasn't providing myself with a sort of income. So, yes, I was first a waitress in a bar, in a rock bar. And then I was a bartender at uh, three, no, two, well, some bars, but it was the same owners. And I was working there for 5 years. So yes, I did. And now you go, because I do think that maybe your experience would help a bit more, because it was in New York.
Yeah.
So maybe you know more about.
Well, nowadays I'm pretty um ignorant about. I mean, it was expensive when I used to live there, but I think nowadays it's just um it just feels very unrealistic to try to live there, to be on. Like, if this was me nowadays, the same person, like the same, I went there when I was 17. So if this is 17-year-old me right now going there, I would be scared shitless. I'm sorry to say it like that, but because I wouldn't know how to, like, if your rent is like $3,000 for like a whatever apartment, um just thinking that I have to make $3,000 from working anywhere,
Plus
plus
training. Yeah,
plus
plus
whatever I
university.
pay for school,
Mm.
plus all my materials, plus my food, plus some sort of life, so you don't just work and draw and be miserable, maybe doing both. Um, I'd be very scared. I would be very, very scared right now. I have to be honest with you. So, um, my I'm gonna say my story involves very loving parents, but a father who at some point just wasn't able to help me, and I quickly realized that I just needed to get as much money from the school that I that I went to, which was SVA, and I had to work in anything that I could find to help myself. Like in the same way Danny was feeling like I got to help myself, I realized no, I got to, like, I have to get I have to get scholarship, I have to get grants,
Hmm.
and I have to work. And I actually did all those things. I got a scholarship, I got grants. They would give me, back in the like mid 90s, they would give me $3,000 every semester, or $3,500 every semester. Um, um, Based on need, and they actually would give it to you, and you would have to show paperwork based on need and academics. But I, graduated with honors, and I knew that I had to do that to keep my scholarship and to keep the aid that I was given. So for me, it was a mix of all of those things. I'm glad that I lived at a time where those things were fairly accessible if you were willing to, like, put in the hard work as a student. And I always thought, like, when I was studying, there was an illustration competition that the Society of Illustrators would do nationwide, and I am not a cocky person. I promise you. If anything, I'm like an insecure person. But in those things, I remember, like, thinking, I'm gonna win this. Like, I need this money. I'm gonna win this. And it was ridiculous because I wasn't even like that good of an illustrator. Like I was painting well, but I never thought of myself like as an illustrator when I was young, even though I was obviously studying illustration. I was an illustration major, but I was learning how to do it. But I never thought of myself as just naturally doing that. But because I knew that I needed, I always told myself I need to win this. I like literally need to win this. So and I won it. I won that competition. I won it one year when in my what do you call the third year? I forget what you junior year, I think it's called. So I won it my third year, and in my fourth year I got a bunch of money. And I'm super happy because James Jean couldn't compete until I graduated. Because if he would have competed like he after me, like I remember I got like 3,500. I think I got like $5,000 total because I won two prizes that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think James, when James started competing, they were giving a $10,000 prize,
And he got
and
them
of
all.
course he won it all
Yeah,
the
he's
time
amazing. Yeah.
because he's incredible. But so I'm super happy. I'm like the person that won like the Ballon d'Or before Messi or Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So I am that person. Like I would have never won if I was
Yeah, it's like,
competing with
woo.
them. So I'm very
Thank you,
happy that
James Dean, for being younger.
yeah,
Woo.
thank you for making me older. God. Um
Mom and dad,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
but that was the way I went about it. But yeah, I think that if you want to go there realistically, you have to work. Like you have to find a job and you have to work, and maybe you can't live in the like a perfect apartment that you wanted, and maybe you're going to need roommates. I lived in Jersey. I had a roommate that I loved. Like he was a really good friend. I mean, I'm going to say he's still a very good friend. Um so, you split costs as much as you can. You find a job. I was working before graduating, I was working at a mural painting studio in New York. After I graduated, was I was still there until they kicked me out. That there were no more jobs, and I had to find like a job super super quickly. I'm still very grateful for my friend Marilena that I called her to see if maybe where she worked they had other jobs, and she was like, "Dude, come right now. Like somebody just left." And
Yeah, that's perfect
it
timing.
was like ridiculous timing.
Hmm.
Sometimes I often believe that in life you just have to be lucky, and I've been very lucky for some reason. I don't deserve to be lucky, but I've been very lucky.
Yeah, but I do think that it's very important. And I'm not trying to be like buzzkill with anyone, but I do think that it's very important to like see the costs and be very realistic about what you can pay and what you can't. Because I do think that we usually get excited to think that we can study in a place that maybe after a year we would be in a super big depth and we would have no idea how to handle that. So
Yeah, don't.
that's just the personality in me, and I'm super rational. So I would be like sitting down and trying to go to Zillow or wherever to see how much the average rent would be. Try to see or try to talk with some people to see what they get in a similar job to the one that I would be getting.
Yeah,
How much I would be my
how much
income.
money an hour you can
Exactly.
make in
How
that
many
job?
time I would be working too, because I think that that's important too. Because you need to know, for example, if you get a grant, you have to have uh like some grades, like
Well, and I don't know what sort of. I'm sure they give some sort of scholarships at the
Grand Central.
Grand Central. Um, I'm 100% positive they help as much as they can, but it's not the sort of school that can have like financial aid. It's not that sort of
Okay.
school.
Yeah, no, because I'm thinking about my university,
Oh yeah, no, this
and
is not
I
like
mean
a
I didn't have a
university.
grant, but I do remember that there was like one grant for all the
Oh, it was ridiculous.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was absolutely ridiculous. But I know that my sister in her career, she got it, and she had to have like she had to be the best grade of all the semester in all
Yeah.
the like in all the grades in all the semesters to get that grant. So I think that's important to know because maybe if it's a job that's gonna ask a lot of time from you, then maybe that could be reflected on your grades if you have to put a lot of time into working.
Oh, and think about it, Danny. Like like what you're saying, but not even because of the um
Grants.
because of a grant or keeping up like a GPA, like a GPA.
Mm-hmm.
No, you just have to make it fit your schedule, your
Yeah.
class schedule,
No, and it's
which is
hard.
very tough.
It's hard, yeah, because I remember when I was in finals and thinking about, I don't know, I have to have four paintings for a final, but then I have to do a sculpture for another one, and then I have to study for art history, and I also have to do two essays. And all of my friends were talking about how they were gonna do it in the weekends and how they were like working nonstop in the weekends. And it was terrible to think, oh my God, I have to pause right now because I have to go to work and I'm gonna be back home at maybe 5 a.m. So I have to sleep at least, I don't know, 3 hours so I can function. And then I have to wake up and work again. So it's something that you have to know and to know what job you accept. Because sometimes if you're gonna work at night, maybe you can get paid better if it's like a night wage as a bartender. But also, that's gonna mean that you're gonna lose all your mornings working. So I do think that you have to like balance a lot of things and see what you can do and what you can't.
Oh, you know that in New York, you got to go to bartending school,
Yeah,
Danny.
yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't just, that's going to cost you money.
Yeah.
Like you can get money, but you're also going to have to spend time and money getting that license, that little thing.
Yeah, cuz I was lucky that in the places I worked as a bartender, I mean there wasn't like complicated drinks. It was more like selling people the drinks,
Yeah.
and they were like easy drinks. But also we had capacitaciones. How do I say that?
Oh, I wouldn't know. Training,
Like
maybe?
a little training. Yeah,
Yeah.
some days. So sometimes they were like, "Hey, you have to come on Thursday, because we have training." And it was maybe an hour and a half. But it was like, oh damn, now I have to go there, so I have like less time to work on my things. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's going to be tough. Like what Danny's saying is very, very true. Like you know what I learned from this is years past because I went to school 25 years ago. So um I think that you have to realize that maybe it's not worth it. Like maybe it's okay not to go to this absurdly expensive city and not to spend like every single minute that you have of your life just trying to keep yourself there. Like doing everything that you can in order to be in this city. Like I'm going to tell you from my experience, like maybe that's not worth it because it was a blessing for me, and I'm going to obviously also say this, like being able to go to that school was a blessing, and I wouldn't have been able to attend to that school if I didn't have a scholarship. That's true. But having, you know, having had that blessing of being able to go there and taking and having been part of classes where you can take advantage of everything that the teacher would tell you, every little moment that you had with like fellow students that were geniuses, were so good. I I don't even understand how much value that has in my life. Like that's enormous for me. Enormous. Um but there is a side of me that says, yes, that was so much worth it, but when I left New York just to come back here to paint, that's the best decision I've ever made. Like there was no point in me trying to stay there just because. Like just because it's you're supposed to be here. Like
Just
you're
to
gonna
say you're
yeah,
living
you're
in
gonna
New
be a
York.
failure if you can't be there for more than you can stand. And for me, it was just super easy because I realized I'm not going to be able to paint if I live here. Like I was painting on the weekends, which is fine. This is not a stab at people that can paint only in the weekends. Like that was me for 3 years. I I say this, but no joke. I in 3 years I did three paintings. 3 years, three paintings because my illustration job was taking all my time, all of it. So it was swallowing up every little bit of time that I had. So I could only paint like on certain Sundays, like not even every Sunday. Like some Sundays um um I would make myself find some time to paint. So I don't know. Now that I'm older, I can tell you, like, I don't know if that was worth it. Like, all of those are life experiences, and I guess you learn a ton of stuff from them. But I don't know if the but I think the lesson there was probably, hey, this may not have been right. This was not balanced, not at all. So don't kill yourself. If like, don't do something where you're gonna have to kill yourself just to be part of something.
Yeah, maybe it was for you, it was meant to be for that amount of time, and that
Yeah,
was it. And I think it's important to know that. And also, I mean, if you see all the things and you like you put all the things on a balance and you realize you can do it and you want to do it, I mean, go ahead. It would be amazing. But I do think that it's important to plan before
yeah,
and to like think about all the scenarios before.
yeah, yeah. I always tell people, like, if you have the money to pay for like an MFA or to pay for one of these sort of atelier schoolings, oh, go for it.
Hmm.
Like, and don't ever feel ashamed of being able to pay for things. Like, if your parents have worked hard enough, or if you have worked hard enough doing something else, like, go nuts, go pay for it. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And
Go,
100% worth it.
yeah, go do it. But if you're in a spot where it's just gonna change, it's gonna affect your whole life.
And your health also,
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
think,
this is very stressful.
hmm,
Very, very stressful. Like that, the upkeep of like just being there. And I don't think it's fair to say, well, if you're a real artist, you can do this. Like if you're really committed, you're like, this is where, you're gonna weed through the people that are not committed, not serious, and only the tougher ones, only the people that are serious are going to, make it.
hmm.
No, you don't need New York for that. Trust me. Like the art world is tough enough anywhere that you don't need to say that New York taught you that. Like life teaches you that, not New York. Like it doesn't matter where you are. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. So, but what you don't need is that extra little pressure that says, "Oh, dude, you're gonna be a failure if you can't make it here." So, yeah, I hope you can answer those things super honestly.
Mm-hmm.
There's a conversation you have with yourself or with your family, and you just say, "Okay, what can I do? Like,
Yeah. And
how hard is this gonna be?" Like,
yeah.
for example, I'm sorry, Daniel.
No,
I'll
no,
say
no, no.
this
I'm
and I'll,
sorry.
I'll
I'm just
finish.
interrupting.
No, no, no. But my niece right now is studying like musical theater in Chicago because she got a scholarship. But even her getting a scholarship is like, it's almost like a curse in disguise, not a blessing, because you go like, yes, my education is paid for, and it's like, fuck, now I have to live in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that mean? And she's, the same as I am. Well, I went to New York a little bit younger, but she's 18 and she's trying to see how she makes a living, so she can stay in Chicago and finish her education.
Mm-hmm.
So those things are never easy. Sometimes just saying like, "Hey, you got a scholarship, full scholarship. That's amazing." And it's like, "Yeah, and how do you pay for your apartment?
Hmm.
How do you pay for, your food? How do you pay for living? Cuz you don't just pay for your apartment and then food and then that you call that a life. No, you got to be happy and you got to be fulfilled and you got to be able to say, let's take a museum trip and let's go see, oh, you know, there's this show like 2 states away. Should we go and make a road trip out of this and go see this amazing show? Like that's life. That's awesome. But um I don't know. I don't think the art world usually sells you this idea that you have to be willing to like eat shit for as long as possible, and that's how you're going to know that you're proving yourself, that you're making everything, like every single sacrifice that you know it's almost like the art world is like this thing that you have to feed,
Mm.
this monster thing that you have to feed, and as soon as it's satiated, it's going to tell you, yes, you've earned the right to like call yourself an artist, to be an artist. And now like it's not going to be easy. It's like, and now you're going to at least be able to like show in New York, or like do these other things like other New Yorkers seemingly do. And I don't know if that's I don't know. I don't know if that's healthy for a lot of people. I don't know if that's a cool way of looking at life. Um yeah.
Yeah, no, and I was going to say that I think the most important thing is to do an informed, like to take an informed decision. So maybe it sounds like too much planning for you, but what I would do, as I was saying, is to like have all the data that I can like collect to know if I'm going to be able to do it. So I would try to talk to people that are living there, or if I don't know anyone, I would Google. I think nowadays we have the advantage to being able to Google everything, basically. So I would look for how much it would cost, not only rent and school, but your materials, transportation, food, just to have like an idea of what your monthly income needs to be, and then try to see like a very informed data of how much you will be getting from the work you'll be doing. And I would say, okay, I have all these in the table. Now I have to know if I'm going to be able, like, I'm going to be super honest to myself and know if I'm going to be able or if I'm not. And if you're able, awesome, go
Yeah,
ahead.
great.
And if you're not, really think about it. Really think about it. So, yeah. Cacaito dice, oh my God, fueron 5 años, Dani, wow, jaja, juré que fue menos tiempo. Cacaito, fueron 5 años. Y yo empecé diciendo que iban a ser 6 meses. Entonces, sí, fue bastante tiempo. Bastante tiempo. Let's see. Marcelo Peralta was saying, hi, Dani and Nico. Hi, chat. Another day, another life. I told you all we would meet again. Meeting you in another life, Marcelo. How are you? Our life is going great.
Which one?
That's the question.
Oh.
Ah. Felipe Neves dice, hola Nicolás e Daniela, ¿cuál es la ideología de esta obra? ¿Qué historia tienes?
Oh, no. Well, should we say it in Spanish or in English? Because I don't know
¿En
if that's-
español?
En español.
Pues estaban hablando en español.
Sí, pero creo que es como portugués de pronto.
Por eso, pero de pronto entienden más fácil.
El español que el inglés.
Sí.
Me he dado cuenta que entienden mejor inglés que el español, pero...
Pero lo preguntó
Pero
en
bueno,
español
sí,
y
sí,
lo
sí.
preguntó con tildes y todo. ¿Cuál es la
Oye, lo
ideología
preguntó
de
con
esta
tilde.
obra?
Eso ya es...
Que entiende español.
Ya es muy diciente. Felipe, no, es simplemente una figura en reposo y es como muy nuestra realidad, honestamente. No tiene... No hay mucho más aparte de eso, pero yo normalmente soy un pintor que vuelca la mirada mucho hacia lo que sucede en el día a día de nuestras vidas, desde lo chiquitito hasta de pronto lo más grande, hasta lo introspectivo, lo interior, y trato como de tener un balance de todas esas cosas. Y este es simplemente Dani, o sea, es un... Ojalá esté siendo evidente que es como una atmósfera amarilla grisácea súper envolvente, de donde se enmarca esa cabecita contra un fondo un poquitito más claro, pero pero quiero que parezca como si estuviera Dani aquí enfrente y que estuviéramos pintando eso, como que haya esa sensación de que hay vida presente
Mm.
em, en un estadio, digamos, por fuera de la pintura, pero que es tan, no sé, tan palpable, es como tan como reconocible esa esencia de vida que hay, que cuando la ponemos en pintura como que se puede sentir que uno realmente estaba enfrente de Dani pintando, cuando en realidad
Mm.
no es así, cuando en
Como
realidad es una
fresco, no
pintura,
sé cómo explicarlo.
sí, cuando en realidad lo que es una pintura pues de un momento que ya pasó.
Mm, sí, y en la obra, la ideología de la obra. Y pregunta, ¿cómo elegir tu tema? Perdón, no sé qué puede decir. Y en la...
Sí, no,
Estaba
no
tratando
sé,
de encontrar
Lindita.
la,
Sí, ¿qué pasó
la
ahí?
pregunta. Estaba tratando de...
Dianita, dime,
Estaba tratando... Daniela, ¿de qué habla?
de la que habla
¿De qué habla?
sí,
¿Qué habla? Felipe Neves dice, ¿cómo elegir tu tema?
No, pero Felipe, yo creo que eso no es algo que otras personas deciden por nosotros.
Y el tema, eso era lo que estaba tratando yo.
Sí,
Iba a hacer
linda,
un chiste y me enredé.
sí,
Iba a decir que el tema de esto es... eh, o sea, nada, es tan sencillo como yo con un jueguito de cartas del celular.
sí,
O
sí,
sea,
no,
lo que tú decías es como nuestra cotidianidad. Y
sí,
entonces estaba recostada en la cama jugando un jueguito mientras empezaba el partido del Liverpool, porque eso es
sí,
lo
es lo
que
que
estaba
es.
pasando, sí. Y estaba de pronto comprando un pack de $2 para ver si me salía la carta que necesitaba.
Es
O sea, es
así,
algo tan mundano como eso, como, pues también lo que tú dices, como volcar la mirada hacia la cotidianidad y como encontrar cosas que le llamen a uno la atención sobre esa cotidianidad sin tener que ser algo súper complejo o profundo o sin que tenga que ser, no, es que la pose me recuerda a esa pose de aquel pintura que me inspiró a... No, o
aquel
sea,
pintura,
pues sí, como de
aquella.
aquella otra pintura que me inspiró a pintar 30 años atrás. No, puede ser tan sencillo como un jueguito de cartas en el celular.
Claro que inspiró la conversación, la abrimos hacia esa pintura de Wyeth, muy bonito.
Pero la conversación, o sea, no fue como que en ese momento tú dijiste, "Ah, voy a tomar esta foto para pintarla porque me está acordando a esta pintura de Wyeth o me está acordando, me está acordando a todas estas otras
Pero eso
cosas".
que dices o sea, y obviamente lo entiendo, pero como el arte es una cosa viva, que no, o sea, la intención nunca, no necesariamente tiene que ser a priori siempre. O
No,
sea, una intención puede mutar, una intención puede como crecer con nosotros todo el
sí.
tiempo.
Sí, se puede nutrir de muchas otras cosas,
Claro,
sí, cien por
entonces
ciento
seguramente
Pero
toda esta conversación también está, la que hizo posible que pensáramos sobre Wyeth, está,
como impregnando la pintura,
sí,
pues claro,
algo tiene, algo sale, algo queda.
claro. Lo que yo digo es porque yo he sido, o sea, y de pronto yo estoy hablando desde mi experiencia, pero yo he sido del tipo de personas que a veces encuentra un pero porque siento que no tengo que pintar. O pensé así algunas veces, como que siento que no, es que no tengo que hacer, no tengo que pintar, no tengo que tallar, no tengo nada que decir, porque es que las cosas, como que uno se arma esa excusa en la cabeza que si las cosas no son lo suficientemente profundas o pues a veces hasta pretenciosas, como que no vale la pena hacerlo. Y pues yo estaba hablando como de verdad esto qué es, o sea, si uno lo lleva a lo más sencillo de la descripción que es, soy yo jugando un jueguito de cartas en el celular. Por eso decía que se puede encontrar como atractivo en algo tan mundano como eso, que yo
Ujú.
creo que eso a veces es importante uno como pensar que de verdad puede una pintura ser sobre eso y no empezar uno a decir, ¿cómo voy a elegir un tema? Que,
Hay mucha gente
¿cuál
que
es la...
pinta así, pero
Sí, no, por eso te digo, pero por eso digo que es desde mi reflexión, o sea, yo me he visto varada por no saber por como decir, "Ay, es que, ¿qué pinto? No, es que, no, y mi cerebro dice, sí, no, es que no hay nada importante que pintar. No, obviamente hay cosas que pueden resultar en una pintura súper chévere y súper bonita que no tienen que ser complejas desde su inicio. O sea, como que el tema o el sujeto de pintura que estoy haciendo no tiene que ser súper complejo desde el principio para que sea una pintura bonita. Eso es lo que estaba tratando de decir. Danny Khalifa was saying hi and some hearted eye emojis. Hey, Danny. Um, Andres Mensa dice, hi guys, congratulations on what you're doing. I know it's not easy, but it is great that besides doing it for a living, you're sharing and giving back to the community.
No,
Oh, thank you,
That's very
Andres.
kind.
Miss Nobody was saying, I used to draw a person drawing a person, drawing a person, drawing a person, drawing a person. Yes.
It's the
You
title of our next video,
you got our humor.
or our lame attempt at humor.
Yeah. Well, that's our humor. Samuel Coomer was saying, that's the kicker for me that makes me super indecisive. I can handle scraping by and working on top of studying. The older I get, the more I'm worrisome about my health in not sleeping and eating poorly. Yeah, because I do think that all those things add up. And maybe when we are excited about like taking a decision about living somewhere that maybe we think we would love to be at, we don't think about all the things we are gonna sacrifice to be there, as Nicolas was saying. So
Oh, and I really, I mean, there's incredible examples of people that age doesn't matter, but I do kind of feel that, when I was younger, I was probably like a little more gun ho to say, bring it. Like, I'll work on anything. Like, who cares? Like, give me the job. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Nowadays, I mean, even for me nowadays, it's almost like impossible to think of that because I'm always going to think of my kids. So even contemplating just doing any job would be kind of impossible for me. Knowing the people that depend on me, but I do think that there's an age where things are a little bit easier.
yeah, but I would also say that even when you're young, sometimes it's too much. And sometimes even if you have a younger body and you can like try and like do a lot of things at the same time, it's gonna pass you a receipt.
Okay.
Pasar factura. So it's gonna add and it's gonna start showing in you and in your body because I think that
It's going to take a toll.
yeah, no, but I was doing the joke for you.
No, I
Va a
know. I
pasar
loved it.
factura.
But there's like, maybe that's the closest expression.
Yeah. So, I think that in my case, for example, I started working when I was in fourth semester or third semester of the university. And when some years passed, I felt it. And I think I felt like I could say the impact it had when I see it in retrospective, because at that time I didn't understand what was happening. But my sleeping cycle was like so bad, so bad. So I would stay up for, I don't know, maybe until 4 a.m. when I wasn't working. Because when I was working, I would get back home maybe at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So, and I was also more prone to getting sick. And I thought that was my normal, like that was my body. And that was just like how my body was, like defense wise. But it's not how it was. It was just that I was like over exploding my body with things and I was asking it for too much and giving it too little. So, yeah. I do think that, I mean, I agree with what you're saying about age and it making it easier, but I do think that easier does not mean that it's okay.
Yeah, or easier doesn't mean easy.
Exactly. Mm, MZA drawing was saying, "How are you? Please watch my drawing." Where is it? So we
Send
can
us your
check it.
work. Send it to Danny.
Yeah, so you can send it to my Instagram. It's Daniela OCMP, and we can check it out. Salmon Culture was saying, "You did 3 paintings in 3 years. That's more than me." Sofía Centurión dice, hola chicos, empezaron re temprano hoy. Acabo de llegar del taller y, ya hice el vaciado de la pieza que estaba haciendo. La semana que viene a picar y a ver qué sale.
Bueno, qué
Qué
chévere,
chévere,
Sofi. Mucha
Sofi.
suerte.
Master of Glass was saying, Nicolás, I'm a young Colombian artist.
Uy. Bueno.
Colombiano como nosotros. I already have 10 works finished, but I don't know how to publish them, how to go out to the public, since social networks sometimes do not give visibility.
Mm.
I do not want to sell them in the center of the city. I feel that people do not value them because they are on the street.
No, pues es que no sé si contestar en español o en
Well, I
inglés.
think that if they ask in English,
Pero esperemos, le quisiera preguntar si le contesto en español o le contesto en inglés.
listo.
Y solo
Entonces,
espero su
Master of
respuesta.
Glass, do you want the answer in English or Spanish?
espero-
Master of Glass, ¿quiere la respuesta en español o en inglés? A ver. Noel C dice saludos combo. Saludos Noelio. Noelio. Noelito, iba a decir.
Noelio.
Iba a decir Noelito y me salió Noelio, tocó Noelio. Saludos Noel, qué pena.
No, me
Qué
dejaste
pena
hacer
la confianza.
mi Nino Bravo ahí.
Julia Tovar
Mm.
was saying, I was obsessed with the idea of an MFA in New York at one point. Then I saw the tuition y se me pasó.
Sí. Y me
Sí,
desperté
Julia.
del sueño.
Sí, y empecé a hablar en español otra vez
Sí.
porque ¿qué estoy haciendo?
Pero
Sí,
yo
no,
también,
100%.
Julia. O sea, yo quería hacer mi MFA después y me di cuenta que no tenía plata. Ya, eso me duró. Eso me duraron las ganas.
Sneha Sima was saying, you're right. It's going to be a crappy life for 4 to 5 years. But if I find out it's possible and I choose to not even try, then I regret. Then regret would be too much to live with. Plus, I want to move out of my parents' house. So yeah, exactly. I mean, what you're saying is also true. I mean, take a decision that you won't regret either way. I think that's important. And you're bound to regret not taking the other one because I think that's doubt and that's always prone to happen. But like you're saying, if you see that it's possible, if you find it possible, then do it. Then do it. And if it's something that's going to make you happy and you know that you're going to need to work super hard, maybe harder than you would have to work if you don't decide to take that risk. But if you know that's going to make you happy, then by any means, just please do it. Bipin Shrestha was saying, hi guys, is it possible to get as good as you in painting without atelier education?
Well, I didn't have an atelier education, but I did have like wonderful teachers, and I did go to an art school. So
But Benjamin Bjork.
yeah, but the truth is, like, so if you had asked me when I was younger, I would have been like, no, that's the only place I could get this education. Truth is, nowadays, with so many ways of instructing yourself, of buying stuff online. I just saw that my teacher, Steve Assel, he's going to do like a 3-day multi-figure composition like workshop, like a demo, and it's like $200 to get it. I mean, I'm not pushing that he doesn't need me to like push anything he does.
Mhm.
But when I was younger, like that didn't exist. Like Steve taught at my school, and that was it. That's if you wanted to have him as a teacher, you would need to be an SVA. So nowadays, there's so many more options than the ones that were available to me that I would consider every one of those options before I started believing that, oh no, I have to be there because if not, then I'm not going to get the education that I want. Truth is, maybe you don't have to be there. Maybe you don't have to be anywhere. Like nowadays, there's digital artists that have taught themselves since they were like 12 how to do things. So, and all of that just coming from tutorials that are on YouTube or videos that they download or videos that they pirate or, they have taught themselves how to do things. And that's pretty remarkable.
Elena Urcio. Hola, Elena.
Elena, iba a decir
Cuenta.
qué milagro, pero no, yo siempre estoy pendiente de Elena y de las pinturas, que son increíbles.
Todas increíbles. Elena dice, hola, me encanta cómo va la pintura y he visto a Chili, qué preciosa, un abrazo. Ay, gracias, Elena. Y pensar que la pintura es de un chihuahua, ¿no? La de
No,
Elena, ¿sí?
Elena no es
No, yo
un
creo que...
Frenchie.
No, Elena nos puede contar, pero creo que me acuerdo cuando la conseguiste, que
Oh, no, un
nosotros
Boston
pensamos
Terrier.
que era un Boston Terrier
Un
y en
Boston.
realidad es un chihuahuita.
Un Boston, de pronto era lo que estaba pensando más
No,
bien. No, no un Frenchie, sino un
pero
Boston.
creo no estar equivocada. Además, he visto otras pinturas de Elena de un chihuahuita,
¿De un chihuahueño?
de un chihuahueñito, pero... ay, mira, iba a escribir Elena para buscar la pintura
Elena
de la... Y
Burcio chihuahueño.
puse Elena Chihuahua.
Ahí sale de pronto.
Una que es como como en una videollamada. Espérate y lo busco, lo tienen como alzadito. Mira, ahí hay un chihuahuito
Sí, es
en
espectacular.
videollamada, sí.
Espectacular esa.
Pero este es de un chihuahuita.
Sí, ese parece.
No, este también.
Puede ser.
Sí,
Elena, ¿cuántos chihuahuas tiene?
este es el que yo te digo que, o sea, la que tenemos nosotras,
Espectacular.
nosotros.
¿Me puedes decir nosotras?
Nosotras.
No,
Mira, y acá hay otro chihuahua, mira. Mira.
Es
Y otro
espectacular.
chihuahua.
Yo quiero todas, Elena. Quiero todas las pinturas de los chihuahuas, por favor.
Y mira, otro chihuahua.
Sí. Elena, ¿tienes una granja de un criadero de chihuahuas?
Elena nos hubiera dicho antes de haber sabido.
Sí.
Pero no, pero estoy segura que era un chihuahua. Creo que eso fue lo que tú me dijiste. O sea, que nosotros pensamos que era un Frenchie
No,
o un Boston.
Boston.
Y después dijimos, ay, no, es un chihuahua. Y mira cómo es la vida. Chili es un chihuahua. Ay, espérate que me toca. Goodbye. Goodbye. Dice, sí, es una chihuahuita. Y el de la videollamada también. Ja, ja, ja. Son dos chihuahuas y son de mi madre. Viven juntos y yo tengo la suerte de que me quieren. Jaja. Sí, la granja dice, jaja. Ay, sí. Nosotros con Chili. ¿Y el de pelo negro es también pelo largo? Porque nuestra Chili va a ser pelo largo.
Creo que ninguno, no.
Solo para... No, el otro no. El de la videollamada, no. Pero el negro no sé. Solo para el deleite de Elena voy a poner a Chili en pantalla un momentico.
El de Elena, no tú.
No, pues es que Chili es Chili. ¿Cómo así el de Elena? El de Elena
El
no se llama
deleite de
Chili.
Elena, no
El
tu
dele-
deleite.
Ah, de ambas.
Mm.
Dice, no, son pelito corto los dos. Ay, sí. Chili va a ser peli larga. Bueno, la voy a quitar de la pantalla.
¿Ya eso fue?
Para concentrarme, me toca.
Daniel Ira, no sé qué hacer. ¿Por qué?
Yo diría déjala así, 100%,
es que
está
Yo
espectacular.
iba a poner el azul
No,
del
no
celular
toques
ahí
eso,
y me lo
está
cago.
hermoso. No toques la parte de abajo, no toques tampoco la parte de abajo de la izquierda.
Ah, entonces ya cae. Listo.
Sí. Pues bueno, no te quiero obligar, ¿no?
No, no, no.
No es como
Necesitaba
que te voy
ese.
a taclear para
No, no, no.
quitarte los pinceles, aunque debería.
Necesitaba ese poquito
Está espectacular.
Ven, pero espérame a ver si puedo borrar esto.
Don't touch it. Como así? Julia dice, ay, volví a escuchar la frase Chili es un chihuahua y pensé que era el big reveal de la raza de Chili. Julia, ya hicimos el big reveal de Chili. ¿De qué está hablando Julia? La voy a bloquear.
Qué jartera Julia, como nunca está.
Julia, esta que sale en pantalla es Chili. Ella es Chili. Nació el 2 de septiembre y llega a nuestra casa. Bueno, voy a recogerla en diciembre. Pero esa es Chili. Es divina. Es una chihuahua, pelo largo, Meryl.
So,
Esa es
having said that, Daniel,
And having Chili in the screen.
yes, you can keep
Oh, I'm gonna keep
your
her.
dog. Yes,
Our dog. I'm gonna
keep your
pick our
dog
dog.
as much as you want in the screen. That's perfectly fine. So I think I was asking Danny if she read my mind because I don't even think I ended up asking what I wanted to ask her, and she's like, "Oh, don't touch this part. Don't touch this part. Don't touch this other part." And I don't know. This is where I wanted to get to the painting because it's like that drawing was kicking my ass at the beginning, but all I needed was like tiny little hints of the head turning. But I didn't need to spell, like I was trying to like see if I had to make the eye, if I had to make like this tiny little like semblance of the nostril that you can sort of spot in there if you're really digging deep into the information of the face. But in truth, all I needed was just this kind of openness that is here, that is a little bit cooler than the warmness in the nose. That contour was super important. The distance from the contour to where the head starts to turn, so the temple to the temple, was really, really important. Really. And I was making that a little bit wider at the beginning. I thought that I had to describe a little bit more of the ear, but not really. Like all those things were just secondary to what eventually was what I realized that I was painting, which was this, this pose that kind of comes in and out of this space. That's what makes it more alive, I guess. And I've always loved to compose while I paint. I guess that sounds a little strange, but usually studies or sketches, or what we define as studies or sketches, have that quality, and really beautiful ones. I've always noticed that uphold that quality. Like they revere that quality, and they kind of are conscious of the responsibility that comes from composing while you paint, while you sketch. So what does that mean? It means that every little decision that you make, so all these like almost free floating brush strokes, like the ones that are here, the choice of letting this open, even like this tiny little trail here, even the choice of making that a little bit open, because in reality that dark goes right up to the cushion. So I left it open because I liked leaving this open also. And the fact that I start to leave these open, this little corner here open, that open, is what eventually is going to justify that the cell phone is open, and that I don't have to finish the legs, and that I don't have to finish this corner, and that I don't have to go and try to do anything else to hint at the nature of the things that are occupying the space that is empty. The space suddenly becomes empty, but it doesn't long to be painted. And that's a very tough thing to do. It's really, really tough thing to do. But the thing is, if you begin your painting thinking that every one of those decisions that you're making is a very important decision, it's like a weighty decision, and your painting almost like depends on it, then you can build up to moment in a painting where you can say, oh, this is done. This is perfect. This is done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a done that doesn't rely upon, oh, I should have done the fingernails, or oh, I should have painted the nostril, because fingernails don't make a painting done, or a nostril doesn't make a painting done. I could think of thousands of paintings without nostrils, thousands of portraits where there's no need for a nostril for there to be a painting. So, so I really like that, but I had to like ease into it, because I always knew that if my painting was going to be surrounded by this grayish yellowness, grayish greenness that is here, that's almost all throughout, and the one moment that you're waiting for is to have that really nice bit of, not over warmness, because there is a quite a variation inside there that makes it super nice and rich, but if I didn't hit that, then it's pointless. Then the whole pose is just off, and then it doesn't matter if I do the hands loose, or if it doesn't matter if I, do these little strands of hair in the back really abstract. Like if this is not right, then it's just not right. It just doesn't work. So that's why I spend so much time there. Well, so much time in the sense that it's got to be right. It just had to be right. Had to be. If not, the whole painting just falls apart. So that's very tough when you recognize that a lot of your painting depends on like hitting just a tiny bit of something, and you're not hitting it. And you sense that as good as you can paint anything else, it just won't matter if you don't solve that particular area of the painting well. So I'm very happy I stuck with it. I was very frustrated, so I apologize, but it is what it is. Sometimes we're frustrated, so that happens.
No, it's fine.
But then as I saw the whole painting taking shape, I was like, yes, okay, yes, now I know what I can do with this painting. And I think it's at its most beautiful when it's like this. If it was just a painting that focuses in on the here and then stretches out, like it forces itself to stretch out to every corner of the painting, I don't know if I would have liked it. I mean, it is, you can still try to make it work, but I think it's going to feel like, I think if I would have stretched it, and let me see if I can explain it this way. I think if I would have stretched it to every single corner, so covering all these like what are seemingly empty spaces, and the painting was at this stage, I think when I got to that point where I painted everything in, I would have been like, well, I didn't need that. Like the painting didn't need that. Like nothing changed about the painting just because I had to like paint everything. Like nothing, absolutely nothing was gained from painting everything else. But I would have felt horrible with myself because I would have said, I didn't gain anything. I just covered the whole area of the painting, which is like whatever. But I lost something that I can't recover.
Like you overdid something.
As soon as you paint over it, goodbye. Like none of this is stuff that you can recover. None of it. So I think as an exercise where because we don't do this with every painting. There's paintings where we stretch and cover every, little bit of that substrate. There's paintings that require us because of the composition to do that. But when I allow myself to do this, it's really nice because I start realizing, okay, this little gesture has to work. These little bits of the hands, they have to work. They're nothing. If you look at them, they're nothing, but they have to work. The way I scraped my paint here has to work against this little area that has like more of an impasto. The way that's more yellow and it turns grayer has to work. The way I break it here just to make it a little bit change in value and make it a little more neutral, that has to work. All these little ones that I'm putting down here, just to make that, this one doesn't matter, but at least one of the pillows I have to make fluffy. I have to make it like that it has shape. And the reason I have to make it so that it has shape is that you can say, oh, that's probably another pillow and it has that same feel. And this is probably the corner of another pillow and it has that same feel. And all I need to do is finish one for you as a viewer to say, oh, these are probably the same nature as that other one. Anyways, I'm super happy. Like it started from I started painting this thinking, oh my god, this is one of those days that I just like fucking spent 3 hours painting like this tiny little head, and I'm just gonna hate every second of it. Like every single second of painting this painting is gonna be a nightmare. It got from there to I actually really like this painting.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah,
A lot.
I like it. I like it
A lot.
quite a lot. So
So let me read super quickly some
please,
comments.
yes.
So, Meora was saying, "Hi all, finally I made it to a live session."
Oh
But we're just
no.
leaving.
Yeah.
But we're happy to have you here.
You know what? Don't listen to this part. Just go back and listen to
And
from the
pretend
beginning.
it's live, yeah.
Yeah, just pretend that we just met. Like, hey.
Hey, yeah. Welcome to the beginning.
What's their name? I'm sorry.
Meora. I said Meora.
Okay.
Alejandro Morales was saying, "Hola Dani y Nicolás. Hello
Alejandro.
everybody. Wow, cool painting."
Thank you.
Julia
Danke
dice,
schön.
"El perfil quedó increíble. Love it."
Gracias, Julia.
Noran was saying, "Beautiful painting."
Thank you.
Javier Ugarte, hola Dani, Nico, and OPL. No, Javier.
Chao,
también.
Javier. Agua.
Agua, sí, agua.
Chao.
Hoy y té. Segundo matcha del día.
Y te jodiste por llegar tarde.
Y solo porque si la gente va a hablar bonito de Chile, yo estoy acá para quedarme. Noran was saying Chile guest appearance. Cosette dice hermoso, Chile está bella. Sergi Arts dice en todo en mayúscula, oh, qué mona, la acabo de ver, ay Dios. Cacaito dice el deleite de todos. Jajaja, Chile es muy linda. Solo por eso les voy a mostrar una segunda foto de
Ay,
Chile.
Jesucristo.
Ay, no, es que es divina. She's so tiny. Noel C. dice, daría la vida por Chile.
¿Qué está pasando? Ya hay mucho Team Chile.
Pues como así, yo feliz. O sea, no sean Team Dani, sean
No,
Team
pero
Chile.
Noel si la va a coger un bus, se le tira encima al bus.
Pues yo no sé, ¿yo qué haría?
Bueno, caminemos siempre con Noel por si eso pasa. Sí. Noel fue un grande, Noel fue un grande.
Y Cosette dice, mi vida.
No.
Sí, es que mira la que puse.
Sí, yo ya he visto todas, linda.
No, ay, ni las has visto.
Ya, sí, la de la mano. Las manos.
Las manos,
está en
siempre
las manos.
está en manos, pues porque
Está
no
en
puede
las
estar en
manos.
el piso.
La están mostrando
Y Julia
como
dice, qué
si le hubieran
emocionante, es
sacado la panza a
preciosa.
solear.
Cacaito dice, Chile mi mina.
No, está,
Yeah.
no, está.
So, yeah, that was it for Chile time. Just for that cuteness overload of Chile, please
Let's
subscribe.
balance it with me.
Please subscribe.
Okay, yes.
No, I mean, out of joke.
Fuera de chiste, out of joke.
It would be great if you guys subscribe.
Ay, Dios.
Out
of joke. No,
out of joke?
No, miren, out of joke.
So out of joke, it would be amazing if you subscribe. Because it's great having you guys.
You can say
here.
no joke. No
out
joke.
of joke.
Yeah, fuera de chiste.
Because it's great to have you guys here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I have to say, again, I love the painting.
Thank you, Daniel.
Absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my top.
Oh.
Top.
Oh, thank you.
Top of the world. I love it.
Okay, settle down.
And yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining us. Remember, we do live streams.
Yes.
Every single week.
Yeah.
Almost every day of the week.
Almost. We're going to be here tomorrow.
Join us.
Do you have anything you have to do tomorrow?
Lots of things, but I
No,
would
I'm
happy to be here.
Okay,
No.
so you can be here. Okay.
Of course not. So.
Of course not.
Of course, I don't have anything to do.
No, come on. Like, I don't know if you have to go see your family or something.
No, I'm joking. I could be here.
Okay, good.
But
so we keep painting the one of the very mannerist one of you and your hands and
yes.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Please subscribe.
Yeah.
And yeah, here's Chile again.
Oh,
goodbye.
Come on.